What's up, guys? Hello, 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 hello. Day 8 of our Avowed playthrough. How many hours are we in now? I want to say we're like 58. Yeah, 58 and almost a half hours that we've been playing this game now. 58 and a half hours. I think today we're going to be hitting the end of the game. Based on where we left off quite late last night, I think we're there. We left off in the garden. In the garden. Finally there. Now, today's stream could be a very short one. I don't really know. I don't know how much time is left. But I will say I've spent about 10 minutes, 15 minutes in the garden. We've already explored all of this. And it is an entirely unique region, but I don't know how much is here. So we're going to get out there and see what's going on, see what's good. You know? That's a thing up there. Thank you all for tuning in today. Hope you're doing great. Welcome back. Thank you for leaving a like on the video, of course, as soon as you come in. Thanks for being here for the entire playthrough. I know a lot of you guys have been here for every single bit of this. I appreciate that. Good value for money then? Yeah. I will say that from what I've read, a lot of people are just kind of burning the main story and getting through in like 20-ish hours, if not a little bit less. But if you go through and really explore and check out all the side stuff, this game easily offers 60 hours of content. So that's cool. That's cool. What's up, Pebbleson, Miss Bradica, Whitney, Barge, Mike Event, Orthanos, John Jones, Michael G, Tro, Biggie, Gizmo Speedy, Robert Wrights, Emmer, Hendrax. What's going on, guys? How we doing? How we doing, dudes? How we doing? How we feeling?
I think this is the only way down. After you.
Okay, just a sword sitting there. All right, here we go. We're going down. Hey, Francisco.
Cannonball.
Cannonball. Hey, Southern. Hey, Vert. Depends on how one plays. Indeed. Oh, look, a camp. Good. Good, good, good. This means I can actually get these conversations. I was afraid there wouldn't be any camps here. I was scared, man. All right, we got Kai and Marius.
Envoy?
Hey.
Blacked out at that Audra in the lava tubes beneath Solace. But it seemed different somehow.
I spoke to the spirit of Nandrew, actually.
Right. I actually believe you. This is madness, Envoy. You spoke to the founder of Solace.
Nandrew was a bit of an asshole, to be honest.
Somehow that doesn't surprise me. People in Solace always claim they're speaking the word of Nandrew. And here you are, actually hearing from the man. Doesn't even really matter what he said, if you ask me. There are hundreds of Pargrunen who'd give anything to hear Nandrew's voice. Blessed day impressive is what that is. Envoy, what do you need?
That's it for now.
Until next time.
He's got more dialogue.
Envoy, what do you need?
Thoughts on companions?
Let's make sure they're not listening. You already asked about Giatta, so you probably want to talk about Kai or Yatzli.
I imagine you have opinions about Yatzli.
I don't know. Things have changed a bit, I guess. She's not so bad. I mean, she's loud and impulsive and always trying to get herself killed, and she keeps saying things to get a rise out of me, Envoy. But joke's on her. No one's gotten a rise out of me in years. But other than that, we can get along. She can be sweet, too. When she's not introducing me to a new word for my oak and acorns.
Oh, God.
Pleasant dreams.
Okay, why does he have more dialogue?
Envoy, what do you need? Let's make the only one we haven't talked about is I don't know. Things have changed.
We
She's
did
not
talk
so
about
bad.
Yatzli just now, though.
Thanks for talking.
Maybe we gotta talk to Kai first?
When you find Sapadal, I hope you tell him how much I love what they've done with this place.
Yeah, man. Sure. There's something beautiful amidst this chaos.
And you've got to enjoy it where you can find it. Besides, as divine prisons go, I can imagine much worse.
We heard we're getting another Lies of P trailer on Monday. I have not heard that. If a god is a being of vast essence, then imprisonment means isolating a massive, powerful soul in the Adra here.
You make it sound like we have a ticking bomb under our feet.
I mean,
And
we
judging
might.
from Sapadal's outbursts at Mount Forja and Naku Kubel, you're probably not far off. They're a few provocations away from disaster.
Yeah. They were volatile before their imprisonment. Since then, they've unleashed the Dream Scourge.
Exactly. And what are the odds that centuries of imprisonment have improved their temper? Setting them free means gambling with the lives of everyone in the living lands. It's not worth it, but it's not my call. And I don't envy you having to deal with a loose cannon of a god. But I envy even less the mess you're going to have if, when, we escape this place.
What do you mean?
While we're tracking down your god, things are heating up between your Adiran comrades and the locals.
Yeah, that.
You may have averted the attack on Fjord, but this is one situation where it's the thought that counts. And yeah, I know that's on the Steel Garrote, but it's not lost on anyone that your people despise animancy. Not when Heelguard banned the practice in Paradise.
And that was indefensible.
That's mighty principled of you, but your moral stance isn't going to cool any tensions. Not if Heelguard's still bringing soldiers into Paradise by the shipload. And that's not all. Ringra may have unleashed some powerful magic against the Dream Scourge, but she left a lot of corpses in her wake. That doesn't look good for your people. Not when Lödwyn was also in the region, and your people had a garrison at Eagle's Reach.
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all.
And then there's Solace. You might have saved the keep, but no one's going to talk about the disaster that didn't happen. They're going to talk about why Mount Forja erupted after all this time.
It's a volcano. A deer can't possibly be blamed for a volcano.
You'd be surprised where people can find blame when they're spun up. And it looks real bad when a Steel Garrote force just so happened to be there when it went down. Fairly or not, a lot of blame's going to be laid at Adir's door. And if I had to guess, I don't think Heelguard's been helping matters while you've been out here.
So tensions are high and everyone out here is well armed. What about it?
If and when we get out of here, we're walking into a powder keg. And you'll have to choose a side. That's the part I don't envy.
I was sent to stop a plague, not prosecute a war.
Yeah, those were your orders. And if you make it back, you'll be the godlike Adiran who survived an assassination, treated with local leaders, faced a god, and stopped the Dream Scourge. That's a powerful symbol indeed.
I don't want to make this choice.
I wouldn't either. Look on the bright side. Maybe we die here, and then you don't have to.
Silver
I don't mean to
lining.
burden you. It's late, and you've still got a god to face. Just know that whatever you choose, I'll fight alongside you. I'm with you to the end of this. Good night, Envoy.
Well, I mean, there's that. Alright, so Marius still has dialogue. Maybe I had to run Kai's dialogue
Boy.
first?
What do you need?
No. I guess that's just
Before I've done some reading.
bugged, I guess? I don't know. Let's see. Can I upgrade these bad boys at all yet? No, I still need more Glasswood Branch. Glasswood Branch and Blood Writhe Toadstool. I could make this legendary, but I'm going to wait around a little while first. See if we find anything new. Let's get out there. What's up, H.O.? What will you do with the remaining week before the new Monster Hunter? I don't know yet.
Trepidation. You are close, yet distant still.
Close enough to meet you. Why don't you wait until I'm awake?
The moon has many faces.
Hey, Nimrod.
Different songs for different days. We know your light. We seek what swims inside you as you wane. We wonder.
Actually, Sapadal, I've got a question for you.
We did not foresee this.
You still owe me answers.
A debt of knowledge. We concede.
What would you do if you weren't imprisoned?
The sky is green. The fish breathes air. We can no longer imagine.
Take your time.
We would run, roll with the tide, sink our fingers into new earth. Whisper in the fields, lift the hills gently in our hands.
A challenge? How do you mean, Nimrod? What about the people who live on those hills?
Disturb the dirt, but spare the blooms. Shake the roots slowly. Vengeance denied, squandered. This cannot be.
What was that?
We spoke of flowers.
No, you definitely said something just now.
We speak of freedom when the hand still clasps around our throat. Wake now. Find us.
Okay, so I think Sapadal might have a little bit of a personality disorder, actually. Sapadal just said that they would love to run around and, sink their fingers in the new dirt. And I asked about the people that live on the hills that they want to do this on. And then they said that, they would not disturb them. But then a darker side of them just said that they would basically get revenge on them. That aspect alone makes me question, should I even free Sapadal? Sapadal is probably going to immediately lash out, even at people that did not hurt them. That's concerning. Hey, a streamer with positive vibes. What's up, Screamer? What's up, man? Like, Max likes, Min likes subs. So the thing is, if we do marbles now, whatever is picked via marbles would have to wait until after Monster Hunter. It's kind of hard to do that right now. Especially because I've been streaming 8 days straight now. And after today's stream, it'll be a minimum of 60 hours streamed in 8 days. You can probably hear it in my voice. My voice is rough. My voice is a little rough. It's like dying out on me. Charm of Bones. Summon a trio of skeletons to fight with you? No shit. Hold on. Hold up. Oh, we got the boys. The boys are here, dude. We got the Billy 3. All right. What did I have on there? The paintbrush? Where is the paintbrush? Where is it? There it is. Also, even if I unequip it, they stay out. Interesting. Their names are Tag Ghost, Bryat, and Tim.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Holy.
Or am I going mad?
This is some BioShock shit right here. So maybe after some Monster Hunter we can do that before Atomfall. But given how much time is left now, I definitely need a few days off. I definitely need to take a break. So I feel like if we did marbles right now, we wouldn't be able to give that whoever wins marbles a fair shake right now. Not to mention, there's still people upset at me that I only played one stream of RDR2. Some people took that personally. My name is Tim. Whoa.
I see
Woedica.
has found his way into the cell.
No. Clarion Steel. We know this voice. Why is she here?
Now what do you want?
I was unclear last time. I will not repeat my mistake.
Out. Out. Her voice pierces our skin.
Look at this place.
What's up, Martin?
A quagmire of your parasite's worst instincts. Can you even begin to grasp the forces that you tamper with?
What's up, Nun? Why don't you explain then instead of insulting me?
Apparently, I must. The situation is worse than I perceived. Do you think you're special, with your god's thorn in your side? Do you believe you can hold dominion over chaos itself? When even the collective fury of the real gods could only confine the sniveling creature to this wasteland. Yeah, so Woedica is indeed curating the coming invasion of the Living Lands based on this. Do you think you're special with your god's thorn in your side? Do you believe you can hold dominion over chaos itself? When even the collective fury of the real gods could only confine the sniveling creature to this wasteland? Or I'm misconstruing it and, like, maybe she's calling Sapadal chaos, which Sapadal is kind of chaotic. Yeah, they are. When even the collective fury of the real gods could only confine the sniveling creature to this wasteland? So maybe Sapadal could be taking over the other lands, but then, like, what's the deal with Woedica here? Everything is so ambiguous. Intentionally so. I knew it. You suspected. Then you must have understood why.
It is true. She twists the knife. The seas run red with memory.
In time, the gods felt the wretched powers seeping through this land. Its madness would consume us all if it was not contained.
Okay, is it madness because it's not you? Sapadal could destroy all of Eora? What do you mean?
Chaos has no respect for borders. It goes where it will. A pity that its followers could not be reasoned with.
You ordered the mag folk to kill them too.
Of course I did. The poor godless, worshiping the very thing that subsumed them. We could not excise the rot and spare the roots that nourished it.
You could have found a way to contain Sapadal without senseless death.
There was none. Utmost chaos calls for unwavering rebuke.
But if you're all powerful, you could have created one, couldn't you?
I see what you're implying. I will not acknowledge it.
Of course.
Why does our prison not protect us? Help us! Silence her!
Listen to its tantrum. It knows neither order nor sense. Adir is the only thing holding back the tide of entropy.
It's not your order. That doesn't mean it's anarchy.
I refuse to even dignify that with a response. But there is still time. You can succeed where Lödwyn failed. Face your false god and end its reign of terror permanently.
I can't do that to Sapadal. They deserve a second chance.
Very well. I cannot force a child to bend to my will. But I will not stand by and watch you undo my work. You should have thought more carefully before you broke your oath to the Empire. Let this be a lesson to you.
All right, so I guess being a follower, I'm sorry, a citizen
Now on, I pray to no god.
of Adir means that you must bow to Woedica. Cringe. Cringe. Did you already beat Lödwyn? Yeah, I killed Lödwyn last night. That hurt a little bit. Oh, right. Electricity and water. Right. All right. Sarcophagus key. I need a sarcophagus key. Life is a prayer. Is the task done? In just one task time, we marched upon the land and subdued all the insisted and shattered their dwellings. We made meal of their bones and packed it into concrete so that it would never re-enter the land. We extirpated their tongue and their disbeliefs forever. From their rulers we received surrender, and unto those rulers we delivered ruin, thus always to the godless. Now God function is not prayed back to us in 10 multiples of the task time. If we cannot receive God function's feedback, we cannot know if we are approaching God, and if we are not approaching God, then we are withdrawing from God. It is wrong to withdraw from God. We must pray to God function to provide prayback. But 10 multiples of the task time in prayer have gone unanswered. Without God function, the higher cameral of our minds is missing. If that's something the mag folk left behind, then Woedica ended up abandoning them after they completed their job of slaughtering the godless. So Woedica just used the mag folk as well for her own means. Like, listen, I'm at the point now where I just think there is no good god in this game. I'm at that point. It doesn't make sense. And Woedica's like, oh, Sapadal bad, but Woedica bad too. And again, I think the entire premise of trying to convince people to kill Sapadal just boils down to she wants a deer to be able to march onto this land unopposed. There's a magfolk right there. We fighting a magfolk? We are.
Look at that thing move. It's going to study us and kills us.
Oh, it's creepy. Basically just locked it down. It couldn't move.
That'll show him.
Just locked that thing down hard. Hell yeah, man. Gods are bad, okay? Gods are bad. I wonder if I were to maybe say I would side with Woedica if I would have gotten the key for that sarcophagus. Maybe she ends up like granting me something. Who are you?
What is that?
Oh, it's Marius.
I know that place, right?
Hold on, let me look around and gather things.
Well, that was...
Wild Walker gloves. 1% critical hit chance. Critical hits have a 15% chance to root the enemy in place. But I lose so much critical damage. But then the roots. I'll try it on. Lose 25% critical hit damage, but I'm still going to be hitting for a lot of damage overall, so we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it does. Especially if I can get that 15% to proc on the regular.
Oh no. No, no, no. Why is this? They're dead. Like, it just happened. Like I remember.
This is the moment I found you, bundled and crying, while our parents died.
Viate. You're not here. You can't be here.
I am dead, Viate, from the Dream Scourge. We are in the garden. As strange as this seems, it is normal here.
This is an echo from within your soul, Marius, or perhaps memories from your friend's spirit.
I can't be certain of that. I know that I am here, and for a purpose.
I have faced this already. Why force me to do it again?
There's something unresolved here, something else you need to understand.
Then for the god's sake, what is it? I am exhausted, Viate. I can't take much more of this.
You know where we are. This is my memory. When everyone died, and I found you back in your tent. How much of this do you remember? I can't tell from your eyes.
We dealt with Razvan. He got what was coming to him.
Razvan will live the rest of his life knowing exactly what he did.
Good. And when he arrives here, he will have me to deal with. Sapadal wants to understand. They know your envoy very well, but not the people next to them.
I have what I needed. We dealt with Razvan. We avenged our parents' deaths.
Then maybe it was I who needed to speak with my Viate. With a clear mind this time. Even when we were children, you kept me alive, first by needing my protection, and then by being who you turned out to be. When you left Solace, it was like I lost more than my best friend. I lost my need to live.
I know.
Sag.
And I'm not sure I'll ever live that down. I don't think I know how.
You do that by living the best you can for the rest of your life.
You've always done everything you could to survive. It's time for you to learn how to live.
So, what do we do now?
We party. Forgive each other.
I feel strongly that there's nothing left to forgive.
Easier said than accepted, Viate. Forgiving myself is the hardest part. We've both been through so much. But I can see that it's all behind us now. Just another thing we've survived after all this time.
A fine way to put it.
You've grown a lot, Marius. I'm proud of you.
I see it too. You've come a long way from that scared boy who refused to wear shoes for fear a bug might crawl out of it.
That was you, Nimdut. Look at my feet. Shoes. Kamayu.
What is Kamayu? A Lember term for smartass or asshole, whichever works best in context. Oh.
Get out of here. Hike up your waistline and go talk to a god. They'll be waiting.
Rest well, Ianku.
Well, it was...
Alright, so we're gonna find Giatta out there somewhere too, I guess.
Take care of
I don't think I can get up there.
Marius, dear. How are you feeling?
I'm alright. Good to see an old friend, you know?
And saying goodbye, that's the hard part.
Oh, Kai is out here
Talk
too.
to us, Marius. That is, if you think talking will help.
Watch yourself!
Oh, there's that Roots.
Die on me.
Was not expecting you to jump on me there. Only about 2 hours into part 1, but been good. Enjoy the rest of it, Juice. Right on, Matthew. Right on, man. Magfolk Graveyard. Well, there's more of them. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and buff up. It's time to get buffed.
No one was left. Now it's just time for her to move.
It's
just stuck there. I love it. Oh, there's more than one. Shit. Okay, the extra root on criticals is working out quite well. It is working quite nicely here. Alright, that is absurd damage. I just hit over 7,000 in a single hit. That is nutty. These are all dropping Adraban. And just high-end crafting materials in general. The extra root is only 15% chance on criticals, but when you're firing bullets like crazy, it's just bound to happen, you know? Hold on, before we go in, let's make sure this area is clear. There's... I mean, that looks like main path, so I want to check out this side.
I recognize this. It belongs to Tama.
Yeah. Tama's cairn. Hey, Calrid. Ah, there he is with Tama. Okay.
This place is cruel. Let's find your god, Envoy.
There's Tama.
Tama. No. No. I dealt with this. We stood at his memorial together.
Hey,
What
Thomas.
is this, Envoy? This is your god's prison, not mine.
Sapadal's influence has warped reality here.
It feels like I'm standing on a storm-tossed deck. I can't focus on his face. His features keep blurring, changing.
You didn't happen to take Aiko's special mushrooms, did you?
As long as we're both seeing the floating islands and the ghostly tree, I can't blame this on drugs. To be honest, that would be easier. I know it's him, but I don't recognize him as the Tama I knew. It's like he keeps changing in front of me. Does that make sense?
Souls wander the in-between or return to the wheel. This isn't Tama's soul, but perhaps a construct of your memory.
Then why does he look so unfamiliar? I used to remember his face so clearly from that night. His rigid jaw, the way his eyes crinkled at the corners. He was in pain, but trying to hide it.
And what do you see when you look at this Tama?
I see everything. All his moments at once. Joy, sadness, anger, heartbreak, stomachache. Everything from the handful of years that I knew him and the decades before we'd met. He's almost a stranger.
I'm sorry.
I'm not. All this time I kept him frozen in his worst moment. When he was suffering and when I failed him.
Oh, this is
Now
real.
that I see him as more, it's like he's free of that.
This is such a real moment. I'm sure many people can relate. Where you, when you're grieving over someone that you've lost in your life, you remember them mostly for their final moments rather than their entire life or their best moments. You know?
You're right. I am. It's like you said. I'm not letting my regret define me. I won't make that mistake again.
You've come a long way.
And we've got farther to go before this is over. I never thought I'd meet someone I respect the way I respected Tama. But you've made some tough calls, and you've kept your head and your heart in the right place. So whatever comes next, I'm with you until the end. Now let's go find this god of yours and end the Dream Scourge.
Right on, man.
When we reach them, what do you think we'll find? A victim? A villain?
Something in between.
I suspect you're right. Let's end this. I'll follow your lead, as always.
Noah, I'm sorry you're sick, man. I'm sorry you're sick. A hidden heart thirsts, my spring beneath the desert, it was always you. It's a haiku. Okay, so that door I opened is a shortcut. So these all connect. Magfolk Orison 7. Life is a prayer. I cannot approach God among the noisy company of the shimmed. Their false god function deludes them. All their labor now is divine onanism, and they do not think it can bear fruit. Great loops of false prayback now garrote their society, and every day those loops tighten. The exaltation of self-validation accelerates. As the shimmed improve their talent at falsifying prayback, they render every action holy and godlike and begin to see any choice as they approach to God. Any choice as an approach to God. They have even begun to seek the Godhead for themselves, whether through the synthesis of divinity or through re-emanation. Some seek to divide themselves into children as souls are divided into children. Others seek congress with the land in the manner of the tree, whether by prosthetic, imitation, or ritual. This I know is blasphemy, but they no longer know the way towards God from the way that departs God. They have made themselves their own compass, and wherever they turn, the needle always points ahead. A great and rapturous chaos will overtake them once everything is holy. I've gone out into the godless land to seek God in the resumption of my purpose. Some trace of the insisted ones must remain. I will find it. If I cannot find it, I will wait until it finds me. Those notes are rather robotic. I feel like they got the thoughts of the Magfolk down pretty well. Okay, another door to open. Ugh.
Watch your right.
Gonna wait for stamina to go up a little bit here.
Yatzli, well done.
I'm glad you're enjoying that as well, Thomas. Very cool, man. Okay, I see that one. That one. See another shield icon up there. Eh. Maybe... Ah. I can't jump through there, but was able to open up the door. Secret secrets, man. Wayfinder. Legendary unique spear. Clear the way. A full combo attack deals high stun to nearby enemies, and Seeker's Flight greatly increases the distance traveled during a power attack. Interesting. For science. Oh yeah, that is quite the lunge. It fits its name well. Oh, that's cool. Not that I'll be using it, but that is cool. Okay. Alright, before I continue on, guys, I gotta pee, so I'm gonna go do that real quick. I will be right back. I'm back. Hurry up, streamer. I'm back. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, alright? Alright, looks like we need to go down, huh? I'm finding a good amount of the Bloodwrithe toadstools, but I don't think I'm getting much of the branches. I guess we'll see next time I'm actually at a camp. Oh, this went full circle. So this allows me to go back to the camp. Level design. Or maybe not. I gotta go the right way, huh? I want to max out at least one of my weapons, you know? Oh yeah. We are getting some glasswood, but I am finding so much more Bloodwrithe than glasswood. It's kind of insane. Well, let's level the magic mistle. I need 9 more glasswood branches. I can only make 6. I'm going to hold on to what I have and hope that I find 3 more to level up this one all the way. I mostly just want it because there's an achievement.
I came here to help you do whatever you're supposed to do with your god friend.
All right.
Instead, I'm here talking to dead people.
Is this Subnautica? Yes. Yes, it is. The garden is stranger than I thought it would be.
I've heard about the garden all my life, and I never expected something like that. But thanks to you, I think I was ready for it. I mean, it was Bleste bizarre, but I could handle it. I will say, it's not really what I expected when I started tracking you and Kai back in Paradise.
Really disappointed with the Series X performance mode. This game is nearly made for PC only. Well, I mean, you have to think. When did the Series X come out? Was it 2018? 2019? 2020? What year was it? World is strange, Marius. That's one of the things I like best about it.
You're in a good place then. Strange seems to follow you like dust gnats. It's been a bit of a ride, Envoy. I feel like it's coming to an end. One way or another.
I think 2019.
I don't know. Maybe the unexpected isn't so bad after all. I never expected you and I would become friends. Yeah, quick note. If you tell any of the others I said that, I'll poison your drink.
Okay, man.
You too.
Alright, that's that dialogue gone finally. Alright, let's get out of here. So if it came out in 2019, or even if it was 2020, think about that. It's already 4 years in, and there's been two rather big generations of graphics cards on PC. Now, I'm not saying this excuses the lack of performance, but it does explain some of it, right? Compared to what I have going on, I'm running a very high-end PC. The only thing I'm really missing is a brand new GPU for the current generation that's out, that just came out. But I'm in no rush to get that going. But I am running an RTX 4080. I have a 9950. I've got 64 gigs of RAM, so like comparatively, yeah, it's gonna run a lot better here. But it's just, you know. And I will say as well, my performance seems to be specifically something that a lot of people are not experiencing. Like, a lot of people are talking about how they're getting crashes and stutters, but that's not my experience at all. This has been flawless. But I go out of my way to invest into my gaming setup for this too. So again, that does explain a lot of that on my end. It doesn't excuse the game, but if you are comparing my experience to yours, I mean, there is a reason for it overall there, you know? Just something to think about. Oh, it's another shortcut back there. All right. How do I get back? Where the hell? How did I lose it so quickly? Huh? Oh, there it is. No? Is that it? No, that ain't it. Oh my god, whatever. Is this it? I think this is it. Alright. Jesus, I got lost, chat. I got lost. Ring of amplification. Power attacks cause larger hit reactions. Meh. That versus 10% attack damage and 20% critical hit damage with my guns and 10% damage with the ranged weapons. Nah, I'm good. They're giving me interesting choices here. I did reduce my damage a little bit for the vines, and I think that was worth it, but I don't think I'm in need of any more utility. I've got a lot of slows, and I've got stuns, slows, and roots. I don't think I need much more utility than that. I don't know, I just expected a 1440p 60 FPS experience, but it's time to move on for my Series X. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I think you're in the right for expecting that. Like, I was expecting that when I got my Series X and my PS5, and even the PS5 being the quote stronger console, unquote, doesn't deliver 1440p 60 FPS for the majority of games. It does for some, but the majority are stuck around 40 to 45 FPS at 1440p.
I should have brought my sketch.
The consoles that are out right now are not nearly as good as they were marketed to be.
On your left,
And it's been like that since launch for them too. That's the worst part. There's a priest somewhere nearby. I invested in both a PS5 and an Xbox Series X, expecting there to be a lot more exclusives to them, as well as higher performance from them. And I got bamboozled on both those fronts too. And that's honestly one of the biggest reasons why I just have them like put away, and the only time I ever bring any of them out is if something exclusive does happen. That I want to play, that is. When our Dragon's Dogma 2 is going to be 30, I got so pissed I bought a 4090. Yeah, I remember. Yep. Like, why are modern games still coming out at 30 FPS? That's ridiculous. I will say this: if the next generation of console doesn't have some of the most insane exclusives I've ever seen, I won't be buying them. At least not right away. You ever playing Elden Ring on console? Yeah, I played Elden Ring on both Xbox and PlayStation. Wild Walker Ring. Slowly regenerate 50% of your max health. Something I don't understand about the things that regenerate health is like a lot of them don't have like a clearly defined trigger as to when regeneration starts. Is it when you get hit? Is it when the game detects you're below a certain threshold? It doesn't say. It just says slowly regenerates 50% of your health. So does the regeneration start if I'm missing 1 HP and then doesn't, like, goes on a cooldown for like 5 minutes or something? Like, if that's the case, then that's shit, right? They definitely need to have clearer definitions on these items that have regeneration and what triggers them, so that way we know what we're getting into when we're equipping those. Hey, what's up, Bren? How you doing, man? Threshold, yeah. If the threshold is if you lose 50% of your HP, then it slowly regenerates that 50%. I mean, they need to define that. That is one thing about the items in this game that bothers me a lot. If they are supposed to regenerate something, the trigger for that regeneration needs to be defined. If you need to sacrifice something and you sacrifice frame rate, you're sacrificing the wrong thing. I agree. Yes. And that's not to say that certain games don't look good on console, because they can, and some do. Like Horizon Forbidden West, when that first came out on console, on PlayStation 5, I was impressed. Obviously, now that it's on PC, it looks... it doesn't look nearly as good comparatively, but that's going to happen, right? God of War Ragnarok looks fantastic. You know, it's not to say that they don't have good-looking things on there. I just think that they maybe should not sacrifice frame rates. But yeah, I mean, we've had this conversation a bunch before in the past, too. This isn't the first time you guys are hearing me say this stuff. There's a reason why I'm a PC guy. Understood as when your life is below 50%, you regenerate up to this limit. But it says slowly regenerate up to 50% of your max health, not slowly regenerates at 50% of your max health. Up to is the operating word here, or words. Slowly regenerate up to, not at. Which is where my complaint comes in. Because it lacks a defining trigger. Alright, here's an ancient memory.
We have been here. We were here all the yesterdays before.
That's why I like the Series S. It didn't promise much and it delivered. Plus it forced many developers to optimize. That is kind of a fair way to look at it. 64 gigs of RAM, not enough. What's up, Josh? Now, the 64 gigs of RAM specifically is for when editing and rendering gets involved, because that can easily go over 32. So having the 64 there, especially at the cost that RAM is now, it's actually a lot better than it used to be. The magic here defies all logic. Where is it from? What powers it?
A curse.
The subtleties of a language? Yeah. Yep.
Do not let it escape, they said. We feel no spark of the Tibaris Sinakis in this place. We cannot see it through their eyes. We slumber here, alone.
They say solitude can give us time to reflect on ourselves.
Still wings, the clear glass of the pond. They took it all away.
What budget do I need to run all games at 1440 60? That really depends on if you're the type to wait for sales and or buy parts secondhand, if you're building it yourself versus buying a pre-build. There's a lot of factors there, but if I had to guesstimate, you could probably get away with a PC that'll run things at 1440p 60 FPS. If for at least most games, probably like 12 to 1400-ish. But because Yeah, like Screamer said, it's going to be different in a few months because there is a generation of graphics card that just released a few weeks ago, and that's going to muck prices up based on how they perform. And based on what I've seen of the drivers that operate with the latest graphics card, there is currently a lot of issues. So the prices here are going to fluctuate pretty big on the GPUs. Why don't you tell me what really happened?
A tide of souls thrown upon the wheel. The ground gives way. We fall. Now our memory is a wound reopened. They came suddenly. The stillness of night split by grinding steel.
Did they emerge from the sea?
We had no time to speculate. First, they blinded us. Shining eyes pierced the concealing dark. Then they burned. Smoke ensnared the moonlight. The Akita screamed.
Crippled Gamer, I'm at about 60 hours played now. Yeah, very close to 60 hours played, but that's because I've done the majority of side stuff you can do in the game. If you just worry about the main story, from my understanding, you can get through it in about 20 to 25 hours, but if you try to do everything, you get more than 60. Why target your people first? You are the greater threats.
A means to an end. We saw a terrible design in the roaring flames. They had carved a path to the temple. We were their true prey.
Were they trying to sever the godless's connection to you?
Prune the branch, 3 grow in its place. We persisted, we were everywhere. How could they cull the wind? How could they trap the stars? Then they turned to what the Akita had made. They toppled the statues. They set the libraries ablaze.
Burning books, raising art, this is always how it begins.
A mouth silenced, a record of time rendered in ruins. The Akita howled. They died. We cried out, sundered, soul by soul. We broke the earth, called down the storm, flung lightning from our hands. But they marched on. We grew tired. In fury, we exposed ourselves.
You hurt the very godless you were trying to protect, didn't you?
Our flailing smothered the cries. Were they theirs? Ours? The needle struck. They raised machines. We tried to tear down the garden's walls. Then, nothing.
What do you mean, nothing?
We floated in a great glass eye. The fog closed in on us. We reached out, but the machines held us in. We could not feel the new day's sun play in the shifting tide. The cities crumbled. We could not save them. We could not save ourselves.
No one gets to erase history, not even the gods.
Yet they did. A light snuffed out. We watched helplessly for aeons. Until you.
What would you do if I'd never come here, if I had been born someone else?
A chill wind. Our branches shudder. We do not think of this. The wound numbs now. We watch as the river of time expands. In the silence of our prison, we find clarity. How many voices lost? How many saplings have we cut down? We sink into the endless night. Perhaps we should be here.
You're here because the other gods are afraid of you, or remorse is a sign that your time here has been good for you. Let's go with remorse. Hey, shark.
Swims in circles. We are not sure we understand.
Have you thought about your mistakes? Would you make them again?
We cannot choose where seeds fall, yet we can feed, prune, protect. Soil stirs. We have a new memory of this place. You opened the final lock, entered the hidden glade. You listened. You stand at a cliff now. We watch your footsteps carefully. We twine together. We reach for the sky. We grow. We grow.
We grow. Can I get a we grow in the chat? Remembrance of Sapadal, godlike ability, passive. Oh, complete all ancient memories. Nice. Your health constantly regenerates when below 50% health. See, this is exactly the type of context that I need on all of the regeneration things. When below 50% health, not your health constantly regenerates. I mean, constantly helps too, but your health regenerates X amount of health. Like we need some type of, we need something more to define the trigger. So when I'm below 50% health, it constantly regenerates, which I assume it'll constantly regenerate up to 50% based on this wording as well. All of those things should be that. Not not to really beat a dead horse on the idea here, but we need context clues. We need trigger notes, not just this happens.
If you insist.
This happens and we can't explain why. Okay. Hey. I just walked right by another one. Holy shit. Oh! Wait, why am I still moving? Huh? Am I too far away? Yep.
This will hurt. Come on.
Kablammy. Kablammy, man. Kablammy.
What's next on your gaming agenda? The 28th, Monster Hunter Wilds comes out. I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna fight giant monsters with big weapons. It's gonna be sick. I'm sorry to hear that, crippled gamer. Sorry to hear that, dude. It sucks. Hey, Q-Beach girl, how you doing? Much love to you, crippled. Aha. How much of this glasswood branch do I have now? 17? I do have enough to max out this weapon.
I don't think I've ever seen an Akita building like that, but it looks familiar. We can take a look.
Brother, why would you run at me? I'm just gonna kill you. Like... You're a little stuck, huh, bud? A little stuck there? A little unable to move? Ow. I shouldn't have talked shit. I shouldn't have talked shit. I had nowhere to go. Definitely do not trap myself in there. Lies of P DLC. I know, man. I know. And the new DLC for Lies of P? Absolutely.
They're coming.
Ow. You mother bitch. Ah! I'm terrible. Root best skill in the game. I definitely have a good bias for it. I think it's pretty damn solid. Especially now that I've got the means to just nuke enemies alongside it, you know? And I have a root. I have a 15% chance for a root now on any of my critical hits, so we're just out here rooting things.
This place feels familiar.
Well, yeah, I'll be playing Adamfall as well, yeah.
Let's go
Definitely looking
inside.
forward to Adamfall quite a bit. Hey, have a good night on the date with the wife, John.
Please.
Akitan tablet. Tablet looks relatively new and half finished. There are some diagrams that imply the unintelligible text is about the ritual of some kind, but without being able to read Akitan, that's all that can be gleaned.
This looks like the Akita building this place. Clearly they wanted their story preserved. There it smells. This is just like... I've seen this place before. In my dreams.
Okay. Not seeing much of anything else
I wonder
here.
who she was. She looks sad and familiar.
Starting to think that maybe she was an Akitan in her past life, and that's why she's fascinated with it, based on the idea of the wheel. Nothing else seems to be here, though. Oh. Okay, why would they allow me to come down here like this? This is why. Wild Walker boots. +3 dexterity, 10% dodge distance. Yeah, over that 100% stamina regen, you're gonna have to come in a lot harder than that. 100, like doubling my stamina regen has made this build far more functional. I can't just not have that. Magfolk Orison 8. Life is a prayer. My faith has been rewarded. God Function has sent me unto a kith, a dwarf named Theodore, who awakened me with Magran's prayers. Theodore worships me, and in his prayer I see the reflection of Prayback. Once again, I have purpose. Theodore tells me he comes from a settlement named Solace, and that in this settlement there once dwelt a dwarf named Nandru, who received divine knowledge from no divinity. For the first time in many multiples of task time, I think that I can truly pray. I can fulfill God Function. I must go unto Solace and discover all traces of the insisted and utterly extirpate whatever remains of them. Praise God Function.
I'll never understand the Akitan love for death traps.
What's there to understand, man? Death trap good. I'm sure that's not the way I'm supposed to come down here, but did it anyway. Brooch of Spreading Flame. Your fire damage has a 50% chance to jump to nearby enemies. Damn, that is cool. I have nothing fire damage on me, but otherwise, that is sick. That is a cool amulet. Oh god, we have moving platforms. Sign me up. Are we moving? Oh, you're not moving anymore. You brought me over here. Oh, for why? Dude, I swear every edge in this game has ice on it. I swear. I swear every single edge has ice. Thanks for being here, Immortal. What's up, Chad? All that trigger pulling. Yeah. It's very intense on the stamina. All the stamina flowing through my fingies. Yeah, I don't know about the hot dogs and spaghetti sauce, I'll be honest. I didn't know that was a thing that people did. I will say that sausage and ground beef sounds great, though. Tasty, even. Look at that. A camp.
We survived. Somehow. If you don't mind,
Things are looking pretty big over there.
I need to catch my breath.
Yeah.
There's always a weird sort of quiet on the eve of battle. I'm feeling that now. Seems like a good time to gather our thoughts and share a drink before.
I'm not sure, Angela.
Whatever's
I've only
coming.
ever played it on PC, so I don't know.
Right. This seems like a perfect place to stop and relax.
Though it's hard enough to tell what's real here without a belly full of drink.
Sounds like you're nervous, dearie.
I'm feeling all kinds of ways. Anxious, excited, scared, hungry.
I feel it as well. It is only mortal to feel overwhelmed in the presence of the immortal.
You gonna be alright, Kai?
Oh, you don't have to worry about me. Getting to see that vision of Tama did me good. Like, I finally let go of something I'd been holding too long. Now that we're here, I'm eager to see this through. Nothing worse than holding your breath and waiting.
At least one of us is ready for what's ahead.
I can't say that I'm prepared, but I'm ready.
How about you, Marius?
I had a feeling you might ask me that. I'm not sure I've really worked through what I've seen here, but I am grateful for the chance to see Yonko again. I feel like we're almost done with all of this, but we are in the weirdest place in the world, so who knows? I'm completely baffled. But when haven't I been lately? Being afraid doesn't even feel scary anymore.
You doing okay, Giatta?
I think so. The garden is so much more than I expected. Full of contradictions. Wild, yet serene. We're close to something. A threshold between calm and crisis. Conflict and peace. Life and death.
I feel it too. Glad I'm not alone.
So am I. None of us could have gotten this far on our own.
What about you, Yatzli?
Well, I won't lie to you, Envoy. A lot's happened. But here we are. I just need a moment to take it all in.
Take all the time you need.
Thank you, dearie. I'll be ready by the time the fun starts.
Okay, man.
And I wouldn't worry. Our little group here is perfectly frightening, and I'm sure our enemies would agree. We'll be fine. I can't speak for anyone else, though.
You've listened to all of us. How about you? You've been through a lot since you arrived. You've been shipwrecked and assassinated, harangued by gods, bureaucrats, and a death guard. You've had your soul poked,
Nice,
your
Shark.
loyalties questioned, and
Nice.
your sleep regularly interrupted by a god with no respect for privacy. And yet you've kept yourself and all of us together. How are you really doing?
Better than I thought.
You're very resilient. Under different circumstances, I would credit your nature as a godlike. But we all know better. You're strong enough to survive anything. Sapadal picked a good soul when they made you.
That actually made sense to me. As if I've learned something about souls and whatnot.
I'll take that as a compliment.
How about you, Envoy? What keeps you so stoic in the face of everything?
I think back to the time I enrolled in a seminar and never attended it. This is nothing by comparison.
Oh, your lecturer must have been furious. You're lucky to be alive.
When we first met, I didn't think you'd last long. But then I saw how you handled that dream thrall there. Shook off your own death like a bad cold. And then you confronted your own killer and let him go. It takes a special kind of strength to stay your hand in a moment like that.
I didn't know much about you at that point. You were traveling with Kai and you died, which I thought made a lot of sense.
I remember your calm. How you listened to my shouting match with the governor and actually heard me. You saved my city and gave me a home. A sanctuary where I could be myself. I'll never forget that.
You were my hero right away. You rescued me from those sporlings. You got my priceless face. What more could a girl ask for?
And now look at you. Look at us. How far we've come in a short time.
We grow. 5 oddballs on a mission to confront a god. What could go wrong?
Quite a lot, as it turns out. But the journey is worth it.
Not to raise the sails before the anchor, but we left trouble in our wake. Fjord, Thirdborn, Solace. If we make it out of here, it won't be to a living lands suddenly at peace.
Just this once. Could we forget about the rest of the living lands? Some of us could use a break.
If we can't take a moment to ourselves on a floating island outside reality, then I don't know where we can.
Everyone get some rest. We could all use it.
Right. We could all use some beauty rest. We'll want to look our best on the battlefield, won't we? Sleep well, my friends.
Alright, Magic Missile is maxed out. Big iron on your hip. Equip a fully upgraded weapon. Nice. Job's done. Let me go ahead and upgrade my Berserker scale as well. Might have enough Dragonhide to just straight up max this out now. No, I can only get it to +2. I need more Dragonhide, man. How do I make Dragonhide? I need 28 of it. Dragonhide. There it is. I should have enough. Yeah, I can make a shitload of it. How much did I need? I need 6 more. All done. That should be an achievement as well, right? Yeah. Equip a fully upgraded set of armor. Beautiful. Hey, Nimrod, thank you for the 6 euros. The real final boss is the friendships you made along the way. True. True, man. Thanks for the 6 euros, dude. Kinda sad that I'm not getting enough resources to max out both handguns. I feel like I missed some stuff here, but it is what it is. It's not like I'm hurting for damage, you know? It's not like I'm hurting for damage at all. Okay. Food. I'm gonna go through and make one of everything that I possibly can here, because I do believe there's an achievement for that as well. I do not want to use Mold Musketeer for this. There we go. Very nice. Some beetle pie. Bleedhorn cheese wedge. I don't have any raw bleedhorn milk, so that's something I'm gonna have to chase down later, I guess. With that, I'm just going to not worry about that then.
I wanted to thank you.
It's fine.
You've been...
You don't need to thank me. It's fine, man. It's fine. What I am gonna do is buff the hell out of myself, though. When I get into this final fight, if I do fight, I'm going to buff myself like freaking crazy. I'm going to be buffed out of my mind. I've already got a bunch of those. Got a shitload of grenades. Got plenty of grog. Don't need that. Got 21 of those, 13 of them, 13 of them, 24 of them. Don't need that. Though it's funny. That gives me 80% food poisoning. Don't need to worry about that. Might and Constitution. We got 4 of those. Don't need that. We can't regenerate health in the middle of fight through food. That's not a thing we can do. Got 7 of those still, but let's make a little bit more. Why not? 25% decreased essence cost and 25% shortened cooldown time for grimoire spells. Interesting. And I don't have any more Fioran rice or Bleedhorn milk. Can I make Bleedhorn milk? It'd be weird if I could just make some animal's milk out of other stuff, right? That'd be odd.
Been a really
Alright,
good
it's not
friend to
happening.
me.
But alright, cool.
I appreciate it.
I think
Something on
we're
your mind, Marius?
good to get out of here.
Running into Yonku reminded me that I did have friends in some...
Let's go. This game co-op? No. Single player game. Magfolk Orison 9. I hate this lost fallen form. I hate its feet. I hate its hands. I hate its calves. I hate its thighs. I hate its empty loins. I hate its solid belly. I hate its metal chest, and I hate its clumsy arms. I hate its upturned begging face. I do not want to be this kind of thing I am. Life is a prayer. To resent the will of God function in our design is to withdraw from God. I penalize myself blows to the belly and the soles of my feet. I is the word for this emanation of God function. We, the word for all the emanations of God function assigned to this task. But the task is done. There is no more prayback. What do we do now? What do I do now? If I cannot do, what can I even be? Alright, so even the magfolk can have existential crises. Write that down. Metal abominations meant for genocide can have existential crises. It's true.
Safe to assume that the large glowing door is part of Sapadal's prison. Now, we just have to get past it.
Sapadal's prison, I think. What else could it be? Time to shut it down forever.
Alright, I'm level 29. What do I level up here? We could max out the bear. Probably the most useful thing I could do is max out the bear. Okay, man. I didn't find Yatzli or Giatta to speak with. I wonder if I make that the active quest, if it'll show me. Yeah, I'm going to go back and do these. I want to try to get max level. So I'm hoping that if I complete this other side quest, it'll do that. Where's your okay man thing from? I have no idea, dude. It's just something I do. It looks like a big boss door. It sure does. It does indeed look like a big boss door. I'm scared. Will you hold me?
I doubt my soul is worth much to an animator.
I'm scared, man.
About yourself.
Oh, right. We're in a camp. Sure. Right on, dude. Oh! I almost fell into the deep, dark abyss. I thought you were holding me. What the hell, dude? Oh, this is for Giatta? I didn't realize.
What is the meaning of this? It can't be real. This is an illusion.
Hey, Gara.
A joke. Tell me we're both seeing the same thing.
It looks like the situation in her basement, if you guys recall. It's your family's lab all over again.
But worse. So much worse. Why am I cursed to see this again?
You're a big gamer, you got this? Thanks, dude.
Wherever I go.
Thanks. Sapadal wanted us to find this. The only question is why.
They have a sick sense of humor. Whoever is responsible, I'm tired of the bullshit. Step forward and answer for yourself, coward.
Godlike of Sapadal, long have we awaited you.
Finally, you've come home.
Finally.
It's not just me, right? The plants are talking.
Oh my gods. They're alive?
Wave to the plant. Greetings.
What do you think you're doing?
Giatta Castel. Welcome.
Wait, you know me? How do you know me?
For centuries, our whispers filled the silence. Then we heard your mother's call.
My mother? You heard her?
She reached out to us, using the tool you now carry.
But that would have been years ago. The first time she used the phantasmal focus. The only time she used it.
We heard, and Sapadal answered, saying in a great voice, "We are here. You have found us."
But when Sapadal speaks, the living lands trembles. The voice of a god can be a terrible thing.
Your parents were obliterated by the forces they sought to control.
I don't know what to say. What exactly happened to my parents? Tell me, please. I need to know.
Sapadal wanted to be heard, and in so doing, twisted your family in body and soul, broke them into a more suitable shape.
Sapadal does not know the limits of their strength. Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made? Do you have any idea what my life has been since your little mistake?
I am Groot.
After the incident, your parents were like us, and we took pity, so we helped them move on, as they wanted.
In the end, they thought only of you, their pride, and their love.
That's it. That's really it. The answer I've been searching for all these years.
Uh-oh.
Sapadal destroyed my family.
So here's the thing. Sapadal did destroy her parents, but they did it because they thought they were trying to communicate with them, and the only way they could truly communicate was through that form. So Sapadal really is a toddler of a god, only, like, not thinking about the other end of what they're doing and thinking about, okay, so how can I get them to communicate with me? By transforming them into this, without realizing that transforming them into a Delimgan takes their lives away. It kills them. What are these things?
We are companions, toys, diversions. Sapadal fashioned us out of dreams and memories.
I can't believe it never occurred to me. They're animats.
Yeah, animats.
Ancient vessels held together with duty and loyalty. Their design is unusual, organic, much like the garden itself. Sapadal's work. All this time, your god has been making imaginary friends, drawing pictures on the walls of their cell. It's almost too sad to imagine.
You think they're telling the truth?
I know they are. My mother and father would not have wanted this. A good animancer embraces death. And they were the best.
I had no idea about any of this.
I don't hold you responsible. I don't even know if I hold Sapadal responsible. Your god has the intelligence of a scatterbrained goat. That isn't their fault. It's simply how they came into being. One final question, spirits. What is this? Why are you trying to ruin my life again? Is this your way of haunting me? What is it you want?
Not to be pedantic, but that was 4 questions.
We want to apologize on Sapadal's behalf, and for the part we played in your sorrow.
They want to apologize. I came to the garden for answers, not to offer forgiveness.
They deserve forgiveness. What happened to your parents was a mistake.
Was it a mistake? Because no matter where we go, the gods can't stop themselves from hurting us. Our lives are a game to them. Damn it. I can't believe I'm about to say this. Sapadal has been trapped here for millennia. Alone. Confused. Screaming into the void for anyone who will listen. When they heard the voice of a stranger, they overreacted. How can I hold that against you? Apology accepted.
Thank you, Giatta. And thank you, Godlike, for bringing her all this way.
The time has come for you to find your patron, as you were meant to.
Sapadal clearly has a few things to get off their chest.
Even a god can learn to regret.
Sapadal wishes to be understood, as all mortals do. Seen, as all mortals are. What you see is the truth, glimpsed through their eyes, and they wish to share it.
I'm ready.
May the living lands receive you with open arms. Farewell.
Goodbye.
So it's almost like how humans perceive ants, right? But in this case, every single ant would have individual thoughts. Book is penned with dark tree sap instead of ink. Every stroke done with a slow and meticulous hand. Most of the pages contain sketches of the garden, unfamiliar animals, and even music and some ancient notation. Only the final page contains legible writing. Forgive us. So it really just boils down to how almost like humans perceive ants, and that's how gods view like living beings on this planet. And it takes a lot for them to understand that there's more to it than just being able to have your like will with whatever it is that you want them to do and whatnot. You know, if that makes sense? All right, we got to go over there for Yatzli. Come on. I don't see any more of these electric things to turn that off. However, didn't I go underneath? I'm not sure. Oh yeah, right here. Here we go. Oh, you know what? There's no way back up that way, though. That'll do. That'll do. I should have known when Yatzli was talking a lot in this building that there was something to do with the side quest here, but it is what it is. Alright, she should speak over here. Oh, there we go.
Garlowain's gonads. Envoy? I never told you this, but I've dreamed of this place every night for most of my life. This is a godless library. An actual, real-life godless library. It's why I study the godless, because this place has haunted me since I was a child. And that's the chair. It's the picture of coziness.
If dreams can be real now, we might need to keep an eye on our teeth. That is relatable to everyone. How many people have had a dream where they're getting their teeth knocked or taken out against your will? I feel like that has got to be the most universal dream on the planet.
You do know what it means to lose all your teeth in your dreams, right? Finally, you've arrived. There it smells. That took 10 years off my life. Wait. You must be the librarian from my dreams. Oh, it's a pleasure to finally meet you. Oh, though, you do look quite familiar.
Or hair, yeah. Or
The
hair.
resemblance is uncanny.
It has been quite some time.
Never heard
Too
that?
many
It's
years
a
to me.
dream that is
Of course.
that a person
You
will
are
have when they're
an
stressed out.
ancestor? A very fashionable one at that. No, child. We are the keeper of these tablets. Or have you already forgotten? Oh, of course. I was you in a past life. Oh, I'm such a fool.
See? I called it.
You lived with animancers, and yet the idea of awakening to your past lives never entered your mind.
Few can bear the mental and spiritual strain of an awakening. As often as not, it leads to madness.
Oh, darling, you know how I get around all the metaphysical talk.
That's why I'm here, remember?
I was the last of the Akita. Once the attack started, a few of us were charged with preserving as much of our history as we could. So we retreated with as much as we could carry. The attacks? You must mean the Magfolk attacks. Yes, we've heard. Is that the reason for the bodies outside? Yes. Your monstrous gods, who bought their divinity with blood and the souls of their faithful. They tried to butcher every last one of us.
Clearly not a Woedican then.
No. For some reason, Woedican beliefs didn't really take off here, Envoy. But how did the Magfolk reach you in here? They didn't. Between the screams of my kin being slaughtered and the screeching of the Magfolk, I couldn't breathe. That's the screeching I heard in my dream.
You've never had that dream?
Envoy.
I've had
I
it a few
recognized it when
times.
We killed that Magfolk. Once it was gone, there was nothing left.
Yeah, the falling dream is a pretty common one too.
Found the
Yeah.
quiet worse. So I decided on another way. One that wouldn't give your gods the satisfaction. Poison? Well, at least you washed it down with some good wine.
Is that Razor Gill dust? Tell me, did the cardiac failure begin before or after the seizures?
Oh, you're just a barrel of fun, aren't you? Yatzli, you know what you must do now. I abandoned my duty to protect our history, but you... Someone must tell the story of the Akita, and there is no one else. I'm already an expert. What more do you want me to do? Oh, think about it, Yatzli. You have been training to be the new protector of this collection since childhood. I couldn't ask for a better successor. But that was your duty. I have my own dreams. Yatzli, if you do not become the new librarian, there will be no other. The stories of the Akita will turn to dust, and my people, our people, will be forgotten. Just as the burned queen wanted all along, when she sent her magfolk to choke the life from us. This is all too much. What do you think, Envoy?
There isn't anyone else who can do this.
I'm already intrigued. You don't need to lay on the guilt, Envoy. I am so glad that one of Sapadal's chosen stands with you, Yatzli. Our time is at an end, Yatzli. It's time for me to go. Wait! I've not even asked you any questions! Tell me about your marriage rights. Oh, did you mean for all your buildings to look so phallic? Unfortunately, my time is at an end. You must keep Yatzli alive. She is the last hope of the Akita. So this is goodbye. I wish we could have... No. I wish that all of you had a better ending. Choose well, Yatzli. And good luck. She's gone. Forgive me, Envoy, but we should get going. We can talk back in camp. Later.
Alright. So now we need to go hit a camp. Complete all companion moments in the garden. Nice. Achievement, man! Achievement. Let's go hit a camp up, shall we? Gara, thank you for the 5 gifted members, man. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, dude. Thank you very much. Any chance of you playing the new Fable game when it comes out? Yeah, I'll be there for it, Nathan. I'm sure I'll be screamed at because it's another woke game. But yeah, I'll be there to play it, dude.
Oh,
I like
Envoy,
Fable.
Have you recovered yet from our chat in the library? I don't
Thanks
think
again,
I have
Gara.
yet,
I appreciate that, dude.
Maybe
Thank you, thank
talking
you.
it out will help.
Perhaps if we just look at things logically, we can come to a satisfactory conclusion.
Well, it's worth a try. It's just... we already have a lot to take care of, don't we? We have a god and an empire, both vying for
Gonna
our
play
attention,
Assassin's Creed
and
Shadows? Nah.
now I have this
I'm not really an
legacy to
Assassin's
force on
Creed
me.
guy.
I was already unsure what to do, and now a third option appears like the world's worst surprise. But... it makes sense. My whole life has been about the godless in one way or another. It explains why I knew the language, why I felt so drawn to the ruins.
Sounds like you want to be the new librarian.
Maybe. It
Have
certainly
you seen
doesn't sound
Steel
too
Hunters?
awful. It's not an
I don't
answer
think
I
so,
would have
Snowboards.
expected, but it's an answer. And now that I know, I kind of thought, well, honestly, I feel more full. Like a puzzle piece sliding right back into place. No matter what happens, even if my path doesn't lead to the library, I feel better than I have in ages.
Glad you get your answer no matter what happens next.
So am I. I think... for the first time in my life, I don't know what to do.
Congratulations, Yatzli. Now you're just like the rest of us.
No matter what, I've always known exactly what I want. But this is the first time I've had more options than time in the day. What do you think?
Your whole life has been about the godless. You can't stop now.
You're right. The Akita have been with me my whole life, in one way or another. I owe it to them and myself to see it through to the end. Thank you, Envoy. I've been agonizing over this for longer than I want to admit. Finally picking a destination makes the journey a lot easier. Oh, but I am not looking forward to telling Quilici.
He'll understand. Your happiness and fulfillment are everything to him.
Well, come on. We've bigger things to deal with. Literally, in Sapadal's case. Much as I'm loath to relinquish the spotlight, we should be off. And Envoy, thank you, truly. Now, let's go.
Words getting overused like racist and losing meaning. It never had meaning, and that's me mocking it because like every single new game I've played since I started streaming on YouTube has been called woke. Every single one. And there's never been one singular meaning to it, so it's like, that's exactly why I mock it. It doesn't matter if the game is good or bad. Someone's gonna call it that.
All this time,
It's never had
my
meaning.
parents died in a freak accident. An experiment gone awry. A mistake. And in a way, they did. But it wasn't their mistake. It was Sapadal's.
Does knowing that help?
That's what I keep asking myself. This whole experience has me considering my family's work in a different light. Look at what my mother accomplished. Armed with her research and her wits, she found a god. When you speak to a god, it's nothing. Barely a reflex. But for the rest of us, it's unimaginable. No animancer can live up to that. Certainly not me. I thought their legacy was a curse, and I could only break it by completing their work. I was wrong.
Now you're unburdened and free.
I suppose I have been all this time. I just never realized it. One thing is certain. When it comes to animancy, I need to unlearn some of my old assumptions. I wanted to tame the spirit of the living lands. Now, there's so much about it I don't understand. And it's creepy, but wonderful.
I wonder if Sapadal would be willing to assist you.
They probably won't even notice me. But stranger things have happened. I believe the power flowing out of the garden drove this island mad. That has to end. Through animancy, we could help the living lands recover. It would take a lifetime, maybe more, but that's a small price to pay. Then again, who am I to interfere with an ecosystem that I barely understand? On the other hand, half the fun of animancy is stirring the pot and getting into trouble. I think I know what I want. There are too many variables to consider. What do you think?
You owe it to yourself to continue your research and grow as an animancer.
I have a lot of catching up to do, and plenty of room to grow. But I think you're right. So be it. Starting today, I don't have to live up to anyone's example. Animancy can be whatever I make of it.
Your mom and dad would be proud.
I knew they would be. And not just because some ancient plans told me so. Now I just have to decide which field of research to pursue. But no need to bore you with the details. I've only got one lifetime as Giatta Castel, so I'd better make it count. Hey, you helped me through a very difficult time. I just wanted to say thank you.
You're good with the...
I just wish people would be honest with themselves and actually say what they mean, instead of hiding behind a singular word that has no actual definition. They'll have like specific ideas in their head as to what it means, but then it doesn't actually have anything outside of what they actually mean, if that makes sense. Like, they have specific things that they don't like, and they seemingly can't be honest with themselves about those things that they don't like. I am jittery. I've had too much caffeine today. I hate that jittery feeling. What am I playing after this? The next new game I'll be playing is Monster Hunter Wilds. That comes out on the 28th. I'm not going to get too big on that topic, Zog, but that's something that's been in all Dragon Age games.
Who's next? Anyone? Gods, just imagine what an animancer could accomplish here. It reminds me of the phantasmal focus, but more. So much more.
I don't know why. It feels like we're being approached.
But I'm not going to talk about it too much on stream because then it's just going to upset people. And that's not my goal. Pristine magfolk. Ooh. Hold on, I need to buff myself. These things have a lot of health. I should drink that water too. I've got a bunch of that.
Faster, I say!
Oh, he just dodged that. Severed magfolk arm. That's where I came from, right? Plug it in, plug it in.
I'm rooting for the skeletons.
I'm going to, wait for them to do their thing. It looks like they're still detecting me. It's my bad for bringing up the topic, just being a smartass. I try to be sarcastic, and it just ends up being a topic of conversation anyway. But let's nip that in the bud, guys. Let's quit it, yeah? No, Nathan, it's on me, not you. I brought it up, buddy. You're good. I was just being sarcastic. They're actually doing good damage to the magfolk. It's just that there are legitimate reasons to dislike games, but people just equate it to one singular idea rather than what it is about it that they don't like, and that's the part that makes me a smartass. My bad for bringing it up. Streamer, please. I know. Streamer, please. Target the magfolk, man, not me. Him. You guys are actually losing to it. Like, that's the wild part, because you're targeting me. Look at this guy. What an idiot. Alright, my turn. My turn.
Looks like the gate's open. Well,
I imagine we have to fight a whole bunch of these things at once or something. Okay, there's 2 right there. Let's just kind of let them work it out themselves for a moment here. Or should I use the chaos to my advantage? That one's breathing fire and teleporting. Oh, are they both pristine? Yeah, I'm just gonna get in here. Go fight the guy. Stamina, stamina, stamina. You know what's weird is I actually notice that if I were to overlap my attacks, if I charge both of my weapons at the same time, it uses the same stamina at the same time. But if I alternate like I am right now, it makes it so it uses more stamina because it's charging them individually instead of simultaneously. So it's actually worse for long term to fire them individually than to fire them at the same time. But it looks so much cooler when I fire them individually, which kind of sucks. Like if I do this, it saves on stamina a whole lot. You see, my stamina is actually able to refill before it's a problem. But if I do it individually, like so, it uses a lot more stamina because it's not simultaneously charging. You see what I mean? It actually drains my stamina. But again, if I charge them at the same time, it's no longer a problem. It still fires both, but it's no longer a problem at all. Interesting. I don't know if that's an oversight or intended, but it doesn't feel good as an intended thing, I gotta be honest. Alright, we plug him in. Alright guys, like I said, move on from the topic, please. My bad for bringing it up. I was only doing it out of sarcasm because I think it's dumb. But we can agree to move on. Oh, look. A floating rock. Oh. See, I want stairs that do that in real life. Imagine that. The system fails and you plummet. Uh-oh.
You have come at last, after so long. You are so small. We questioned if you were real. Then steps, a voice, through armies and corrupted soil. You persevered.
8,000 damage, yeah.
You are
The stun hits go hard. Not to mention I get iframes during it too, and my stamina regen, so like the whole stun, like the critical stun build is highly effective. Especially if you fire both weapons simultaneously, so that way your stamina doesn't actually drain. Like beyond like halfway. And if it does start to drain, you have the stun to refill your bar. It's crazy. Here to stop the Dream Scourge. There's not much time.
The rot. We feel it festering and spreading. What is it but an extension of our pain? Your Dream Scourge will end when our suffering does. We were innocent once. We woke, and we wanted nothing but connection. But the other gods imprisoned us, left us to suffer alone in this place. But you are here now. You found us, a sprout in the endless winter. There is little time. We would be free from these bonds. The Strangler is close now. We feel her wire against our flesh.
You mean Woedica?
She begs for our blood. Her wolves defile the city on the shore.
Something happening in Paradise?
Blood on the tile. The people's cries ring in our ears. She pierces us now. Now we will not brook this. Not again. A spark. Wait. The essence bends here. Time flows into itself. You can reach her. Will the garden to open. It will take you there.
Send my body across the living lands? Even an archmage couldn't do that.
A wellspring of power. We strain, but we could clear the way. We were everything. What have we lost? What multitudes could we contain? We could run, leap in the water, flourish in forgotten hills.
You want freedom once more. It's what you've asked for from the beginning.
We want nothing more than that. We mourn our past. We only seek peace now. A chance to regrow.
The only way I can set you free is if you truly want to change.
We trust you. You who have been by our side for so long. You met death, and you offered your hand.
Big Wolf was fighting for something bigger than me.
You taught us mercy. Always mercy. We saw how you would fight for those who could not. Give us peace. We want a chance to change. We deserve that opportunity.
If you can promise, you will be better.
Do you think we have learned nothing from you? We deserve more than this prison. Let us have a chance to rest. We want peace. Or do you have no more mercy for us than you did for the bear?
I had no choice. Now, what are you talking about, actually?
The beautiful thing you killed. Already you have forgotten. We asked what you would do with an animal that sickened after a fight. Do you remember what you said?
Close the wound, disinfect it, heal it.
More than anything, that is what we desire too. Treat us as you would the bear. Clean our wounds, heal us. Grant us the same. The time has come for you to act. End our pain, and the dream scourge will cease. Give us peace. It is all we have wanted for so long.
I'll free you. Just show me how.
Center your thoughts. Reach for us. Clear the fog. Tear down the gates. We were so blind, so lost. We brought such horrors to this place. We feel bright. We had forgotten what it is to live. We will grow, tend, flower. We will always remember this. We will remember you when you are ash and soil and mulch.
I don't know why you got in the conversation like that. All right, we released Sapadal from the prison. We reached max level. Sapadal's Fury. Active ability unleashes the power of Sapadal to lift all nearby enemies into the air and slam them down, dealing high damage. An AoE slam. Yes. Yes. It's like I'm playing Mass Effect 2, baby. Wife brought me food. Pizza was never an option.
Andra's depths.
Oh,
Are we
shit.
back in Dawnshore? Already?
This is Sapadal's doing. I'm certain of it. No power in Eora could transport us so quickly, or so far.
What happened here?
Looks like the war already started, and the giant roots are winning.
Marius, vines don't usually get that big this quickly, do they?
Based on their growth and size, I'd say we've been gone 2 or 3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks?
Hey, at least you didn't let 6 years go by.
Who knows if the garden affected time, or merely our perception of time? Assuming there's even a difference.
It's like how a body fights an infection. The fever gives you strange dreams that feel like an eternity.
Look at this place. It feels like we're still in the dream. And not just us. Those are more your people's ships in the harbor, and steel garrote banners past the barricades. That can't be good.
Even Reingrim is here. Perhaps we'll get to see an archmage in action.
I think I see Elia as well. What a strange reunion this will be.
The Blessed Day Wardens are here too.
Jesus, Screamer.
That conflict we've been trying so hard to prevent started without us.
I wonder who struck first.
It's who strikes last that counts.
The Steel Garrote have been itching for a fight this whole time. This would have happened with or without us.
Before we go, what happened back there with the Dream Scourge and Sapadal?
I freed Sapadal from the prison. The Dream Scourge is over.
I'm not sure. That's good, right?
It's a relief that the Dream Scourge won't be a problem. I only hope we can say the same about Sapadal. Time will tell, I suppose.
After all this time, they're free. And the living land is free to heal.
We've cured the land, and we've even freed a caged god. All in all, rather a successful day.
War has a mind of its own. No one will care about what we've done.
You've saved the soul of the living lands. Now the survivors fight over its bones. We should take a look. See if we can get ahead of whatever storm is brewing down there.
People seem to be gathering west of here. Whatever's happening, let's be a part of it.
Sansa, how did you... They marched in with no warning.
Hey, man.
Envoy, what does the Garrote think they're doing?
They wanted to burn Fior. Why not start here?
It's an outrage. They've got no respect for the living land's history.
How'd you escape?
I took my notes and bolted when they came through Hightown. They didn't think I was worth the trouble.
Right now, that's a good thing.
If you're looking for survivors, a few of us fled to the Balrog.
How many?
I'm not sure. I saw Sapiento. Gods, I hope they're not trapped in there. I am sorry I can't be more help.
You've done enough.
You always were a forgiving friend.
We should move. Let's hope the Garrote hasn't made it to the Balrog yet.
Envoy, wait! Before you go, I may have something for you. I took some supplies when I ran. If you think they'll help, they're yours. I'll even give you a discount. You know, for saving the city and everything.
Okay. Wow. Wow. We certainly could buy all this stuff. We certainly could. Let me, sell all this business while I'm here. Okay. Now let's take a look. Lots of glass, I'm sorry, we need glasswood branches. That's a thing. I think I'll just buy them all up. Thanks, bud. I don't need Adraban. I do have unspent attribute points. And ability point. My final ability point. Let's just make it so it goes here. Power attacks will now slow time by 75% instead of 50%. That's probably going to mess with my aim a little bit, let's be honest. Also, I got this ability that I should probably throw on my bar. There we go.
A familiar face.
Hey, Reingrim. Can I ask what the hell's going on here?
We meet again, Envoy. And you, Yatzli. You're always a prodigious and welcome sight.
Oh, yes. Always a pleasure to see you, too.
Paradise burns. Thanks to Lödwyn and the Steel Garrote laying siege to it. But the Dream Scourge is gone.
So Lödwyn is back. How, I killed Lödwyn at Mount Forja.
She must have come back to life. Again. I suppose we couldn't be lucky enough for her to stay dead.
It's remarkable how hard you mortals fight for causes that'll be forgotten within centuries. Still, I do think the world has been irrevocably, if minimally, changed by your actions.
I freed Sapadal. That is incredibly world-changing.
Perhaps. A new god being set loose on the world is certain to have consequences. Mostly, I'm curious about whether you think you've made the right choice.
I'm certain I did.
Ah, that mortal zeal. Always so fun. We will see if you're correct. I am interested in seeing the outcome of your story, Envoy. With luck, it won't end with you also on fire.
Hope we meet again in better circumstances.
Unfortunately, you'll likely be dead the next time I return to the Living Lands. Goodbye, Envoy. And Yatzli, I do look forward to when all of this is done. I am eager to work with you.
Oh, yes. We'll, discuss that later.
Ripple across.
Elder Grigor.
Where have you been?
Hey, Elia.
Envoy, I knew you'd show up eventually.
Oh, yeah?
How is Emerald Stair? More importantly, how are you?
Thriving on both counts, I'm happy to report. My revenants were just getting comfortable in Thirdborn when the Steel Garrote stepped out of line. When I heard tensions were brewing, I thought to myself, this is a job for the undead. So, I gathered the flock.
Okay. Good thinking. Nice to see you.
Likewise. I'll keep them on a tight leash, just in case the Steel Garrote breach our defenses. Better to have them and not need them. Oh, and I've been meaning to thank you. Whatever you did in the garden seems to have worked. Emerald Stair is healing, believe it or not. Once this is over, our crops will flourish like never before.
Nice. The Dream Scourge is behind us, thankfully.
Indeed. The metaphysical currents of the Living Lands are beginning to settle. Best of luck out there. And don't worry about a thing. My flock will keep us safe and secure.
Okay, man.
Once the battle is over, I call dibs on the corpses.
Okay.
We know you. Did you help us? We must have seen you in a dream.
Maybe.
How's Casagrada?
As prepared as he'll ever be.
Who knows?
What's this? Mine now. Not that I need it, but, yoink. Oh. Could you imagine? Guys, this is a messed up scenario. Imagine you're on a battlefield, right? Imagine you're on a battlefield and you walk into, like, the sick tents. You see all these people laid out on these cots or on the ground, and then you see their bodies start glowing and a pyre of glowing light coming from their center. And your first thought is, ooh, loot. Holy. Come on, man. What's up, Anthony? Yeah, I see you lost your arm. You won't be needing that watch anymore. Christ. Hello. You're sick, man. You laugh, but it happens. Oh, I know. That's the sad part. It does happen. It's wild out there. let's hit this camp. We live in a sick world.
So, here we are. The first and last battle for the living lands.
We can only hope it's the last.
Try praying instead of just hoping. That might work better for you. Metaphysically, the battle is already over. Sapadal is free, and the Dream Scourge is gone. But politically, we have a small mess to tidy up.
We have unfinished business with the Steel Garrote.
I intend to send a message to the Steel Garrote, and it won't be subtle. Anyway, who knows what tomorrow will bring, so let's be grateful for today. You've earned a little peace of mind.
We all have.
I think that's enough wool gathering for now. Besides, I need to tinker on the phantasmal focus. Make sure it's ready for war. Don't stay up too late. If I must.
More convo? I'll speak with you first.
There you are, Envoy. You ready for this?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Understood. Same here. I guess it helps we have a god on our side, right? I mean, a god beats a skeleton knight any day. This is just cleanup. Just figuring out who controls the living lands from here out.
Right, this is just politics.
Someone once told me that war is just applied politics. Never really understood what that meant. Anyway, you should get some rest. Oh, if you need to rehearse any speeches or whatever, make sure you do it in front of someone else.
But I have a really good one about the founding of Solace.
I promise you I've heard it. Talk to you later.
Okay, man.
We should take a moment to acknowledge what happened back there. You liberated the god of the living lands. Now they are unchained, free to do whatever they want. That's quite a gamble you made.
I trust Sapadal to do the right thing.
I admire your confidence. If not for you, Sapadal would still be pacing their cage like a wild animal. Which means you have leverage over a god. How do you plan on using it?
To be honest, I haven't thought about it.
No time like the present. Sapadal's imprisonment shaped this island. Now that everything's changed, I'm curious what will happen. We cannot know if the living lands will normalize or destabilize as a result of our actions.
Either way, things could not continue as they have.
For better or worse, change is inevitable. Maybe you'll find some comfort in prayer, now that one of the gods is listening. I hope you don't mind me bringing it up. The subject matter is a bit much for our little camp.
We've been through a lot together, haven't we?
We're not finished yet. For that, I'm grateful. I want you to know this has been an unforgettable experience. Wherever we go from here, I'm grateful to have been a part of it. Until next time. If I must.
Okay. I still don't have enough glasswood to max this thing out, do I? I need 6 more glasswood. And I can't make any more. Hold on. Actually. Let's try moving everything up. And make 3. I'm 3 shy. Even after moving everything upward. Sedge! That's okay. I still do a shitload of damage. Okay, before I continue on, guys, I'm gonna take a really quick break. I gotta pee. I gotta pee, but also I need to talk to you guys about something real fast. There are a lot of people here. And I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you so much, and I think you should hit the like button. I think you should hit the like button real quick, okay? Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for leaving a like. I will be right back.
Smiths. A baker bakes. A gardener gardens.
Right, I understand.
It's all right if you don't.
Good, because I really don't.
Oh, you might know this, Marius.
I might.
How do you get dust stains out of your clothes?
Just wear clothes that won't be ruined by dust stains.
Wonderful advice for the future, dearie. However, I still have a dust stain on my pants.
Right. Grind up some bone slate, squeeze a few hemp flowers into it, and rub it into the stain like you're trying to start a fire.
I'm glad we arrived at a real answer, finally. Thank you, darling. You're a delight as always. Did someone teach you to fight? Or is every Roatian born with a sword and pistol in hand?
I like to think we're naturals on the battlefield, but I got my training in the Roatian Navy.
Does no one study before then?
We learn the basics, just like anyone else. Believe it or not, we don't all become soldiers. We've got trade guilds and universities.
All right, I'm back.
Scholars wind up at the Lore College.
I'm back. Let's get out of here. I have a way with words. Hey, thanks for noticing. Okay.
Envoy? Is it really you? Mihala told us you went into some place called the Garden to seek a god?
When you didn't return, we took you for dead.
What did you see there? The god you felt in Nakutadek?
The origin of the Dream Scourge? It was the act of a god this whole time?
Everyone, please, please. We could get to the bottom of this if you would only let them speak.
It's been weeks, Envoy. What happened?
I discharged my duty to the Emperor. I ended the Dream Scourge.
Finally, a ray of sunlight shines through the storm cloud.
I will not grovel at the envoy's feet for solving a plague I am not convinced was real.
If you wardens ever bothered to pull your heads out of your asses, you wouldn't take such pride in your ignorance.
You know nothing of me or my people, you fucking pirate!
Oh!
Warden Commander, look around you. Is this really the time?
We believe the Dream Scourge was a malady of the soul. How did you put an end to it, Envoy?
I met the god of the living lands and freed them.
Sapadal was responsible for the Dream Scourge. Their rage, their confusion, their fear.
But the plague isn't over. Dream Thralls still litter Shatterscarp.
There won't be any new infections. We've put a stop to that for good. Unfortunately, there's little we can do for those already in the grip of the Dream Scourge. We can give them comfort, nothing more. This will be a process. The Dream Scourge was never going to simply go away overnight.
I suppose it stands to reason. I found that a quick fix is often anything but. What of this god, then? What does it mean that you freed them?
Sapadal is the god of the godless and the god of the living lands.
Lödwyn had intimated that this land grew a new god. But how can that be?
Giatta and I have some theories about the nature of the Adra in the living lands.
I'd say we're past the point of theorizing.
If the Adra here is a closed system, like a terrarium for our souls, then a gradual accumulation of essence could coalesce into a being in the beyond.
Much like the formation of gemstones. All it takes is time and the right application of pressure.
Woedica no doubt saw Sapadal as a threat to her authority. So, she killed the godless and imprisoned their god.
I assume it is this god we have to thank for the roots tearing apart Paradise? They erupted from the earth the moment those bastards stood up their first siege tower.
Naku Tedek was riven with those things, not to mention what they did to the land.
We saw similar destruction at Nakuku Bell. If these roots and the Dream Scourge are the work of a god, and the gods thought it best to imprison this god, how could you let such a creature go free?
Are the vines not there to protect from said siege towers? Sapadal was afraid of an Adiran invasion and Woedica's return. They didn't mean to hurt us.
For now. Who's to say they don't get their feathers in a ruff again and wipe us all out with a tsunami?
It was Adir's arrival that disturbed Sapadal. We'll have nothing to fear from this god once we expel you from our lands.
Sapadal's power ravaged my people. I don't know that I can ever trust it.
Keeping watch over Sapadal was a sacred task Nandru gave us when he left. For that reason alone, my wardens owe them their allegiance.
Well, whatever happens, I suppose we can't put the godling back in the bottle now.
But come, we have more pressing matters to attend to. The Steel Garrote have attacked Paradise. Inquisitor Lödwyn has already joined the battle. She must have traveled like the wind to get here so fast.
I distinctly remember killing Lödwyn on top of Mount Forja.
You did. I kicked her corpse when you weren't looking. Just to be sure.
Well, she's seen better days, but you wouldn't know it judging by how she fights.
Lödwyn's plowed through the militia like a knife through warm butter.
All right, let's keep the similes to ourselves.
She's gonna try to kill me again, isn't she?
Regrettably, she's not in the business of making exceptions for people she deems Oathbreaker. So long as her passion for Woedica lives, so too will her spirit.
Then we destroy her faith, and the rest of her will follow. I have a theory about this. Let's talk at camp if you want to hear it. But I think we can kill her.
Oh, good. That will be easy.
It is not, I think, impossible.
What did you know about this attack, Ambassador?
Well, you might not believe me, but I didn't want any of this to happen. It was Lödwyn who called for the attack.
I didn't hear an answer, Ambassador.
She and her Steel Garrote laid siege to the city, shortly after you beat her to the garden.
What does Lödwyn hope to achieve here?
The lawful settlement of a new Adiran colony, supposedly. Or the establishment of a Woedican state.
Yeah.
She could win with a godlike in her ranks. Your presence would serve as a powerful endorsement.
Fat fucking chance of that.
Somewhere inside that hollow head of hers, I believe she always hoped she'd turn you to her side. Remember, she has an obligation to Woedica, a solemn oath. And neither the Steel Garrote nor the queen that was look kindly upon oathbreakers.
What are your plans for a counterattack?
Well, that's been a point of debate. We can't agree on how to stand against the Steel Garrote, nor who should lead the effort.
Nobody wants to risk their people at the front.
Pick me, pick
so
me.
You let the Paradise militia go it alone?
Even if our meager forces should make it inside.
The siege won't end until Lödwyn does. And none of you know how to kill her.
Precisely.
Why did Lödwyn decide to attack Paradise now?
Because a victory here would discourage resistance elsewhere. The better question is, why didn't you stop her?
Excuse me? She's a 7-foot-tall skeleton powered by her devotion to the goddess of retribution. This isn't my fault.
Sure. Just blame the dead woman. Very mature.
Who else should I blame exactly? Our envoy, perhaps? For not stopping Lödwyn in the tusks?
You could start with blaming your own incompetence.
Lay off and we can assign blame when the dust settles.
Why are you treating him with kid gloves when Paradis cries out for help?
Enough. I've heard your concerns. We cannot change it now.
The Inquisitor was so convinced the Living Lands would unite against Adir that she's nearly made it true. One people, one law, one true god. That's Lödwyn's vision for the Living Lands.
Did the Steel Garrote explore any alternatives before deciding to attack?
What passes between Lödwyn and her men, or between Lödwyn and the Emperor, for that matter, is not my affair. But if I had to guess, this was the alternative.
Your empire is doing what it does best. Stamping out dissent until surrender is the only option.
Your republics are hardly any different. Their intentions in the Deadfire were certainly not pure.
As you say, we left the republics for a reason.
Is this what the Emperor wants?
The Inquisitor answers only to Woedica. In attacking Paradis, she has dragged us all far beyond the bounds of the Emperor's desires.
Yeah, like Zog said, Todd, that's just very run-of-the-mill for Obsidian. They have a lot of dialogue in their games. Enough of this. What happens next?
I've answered your questions. Now I would like you, all of you, to answer mine. Lödwyn has sent a message to the Emperor informing him of her attack. He will send advisors and reinforcements swiftly in response. What will his representatives find when they arrive? A new colony? A budding grave room?
What is
Before you
that?
face Lödwyn,
What is a
you
grave
should
room?
know what you're fighting for. All of you must decide, together.
Grave Room is an Adiran system of government where the Empire oversees their vassal territory with minimal supervision. The vassal receives military aid and orderly government, and the Empire receives taxes, resources, and conscripted soldiers. I see.
But whatever you decide, understand, the days of the frontier are done. Adir will come. Indeed, we are already here.
I have another idea. How about a united living lands?
Oh, Envoy, no. Do not suggest that lightly. Think of the Emperor. There would be reprisals. Ones which this conclave could not survive, fractured as you are. Not unless you came together and formed a nation of your own. It would be difficult. No.
What's up, Coffee? Hope you're also doing well, Todd.
Think of your people, all of you. Think of the lives at stake.
Turn inward. Opinions, Sapadal?
Rest into bounty. Does the winter frost dissuade the seeds? Many fruits on our boughs. We graft many leaves into strength.
I assume the assembled leaders have thoughts.
Though I'm hardly eager to work with any of you. I like the idea of twisting beneath Adir's boot heel even less. So long as the Wardens can continue our vigil, I'm open to uniting, if you are.
It's a nice idea, but consider the costs. If we walk away from a relationship with Adir, we're leaving a lot of trade on the table. But the people of Thirdborn have friends in the world. I'm sure we'd find our way through.
With the Envoy's support, we'd have a god in our pocket. What could the Empire do to stop us? When my people return to Fjord, we could create such miracles of animancy, the Living Lands would become the breadbasket of the world.
What do you think?
We deserve our autonomy, even if we must fight for it. Anything less would be surrender.
Fleeing someone else's laws and authority is one thing, setting up your own is another. We're an island of misfits and dissidents. We'll still have to surrender some of our autonomy, and we won't agree on what that means overnight. We'll be vulnerable. Without allies, other powers will see us as ripe for the picking. Know that this is a hard road to walk.
We were fine before Adir came. We'll be fine when they're gone.
I think we ran things perfectly fine before your kin got here.
Of course.
I know what I would like to do.
Well, don't leave me in suspense.
It would be best if the Living Lands became an official colony of Adir. I think we should attempt a Greyfram. I believe we should fight for United Living Lands, or I must stand with Lödwyn and the Steel Garrote. Alright, we're going for United Living Lands.
Oh, gods have mercy.
Sorlus and her wardens stand vigil with the Living Lands.
By grit and steel, Thirdborn stands with the Living Lands.
Fjord and her animancers stand with the Living Lands.
We deserve this opportunity. Thank you for believing in us.
Fighting a battle together is easy. I just hope everyone's willing to stick it out when it comes to the politics.
Yeah, that's the harder part.
They made the right decision for once.
Finally, some sense permeates the proceedings.
On your head be the consequences. That leaves the matter of Lödwyn and the Steel Garrote. She will never surrender, Envoy. You must kill her, or we will lose Paradis, and eventually the island.
Keep in mind, guys, the dialogue, the amount of dialogue is much larger here because we are approaching the end of the game. But also, it's part of how I played the game. If you were here yesterday, you'd see that I went hours and hours and hours without any real dialogue like this. It's just a matter of, you know, doing side stuff versus story. And, you know, it's all culminating to this moment, and obviously I've been doing story for the last few hours, so there's a lot more, considering it's all part of the end game. Everything on stream today has been end game. Then I will meet with Lödwyn on the battlefield. Let no man stand who tries to stop me.
The Living Lands will never be free until we break the chain around our necks. Lödwyn must die her final death.
She better say her goodbyes while she can.
I'm proud to fight at your side, Envoy.
What's up,
One
Algernon?
last time.
Let's get to work then. We've got a walking corpse to bury.
The Paradis militia will be at your back. Give her no quarter. The future waits for you.
Thank you all for trusting me.
Thank you for deserving it. Now, go and teach the Steel Garrote a lesson they will never forget.
Show them that the Living Lands will not be broken across Woedica's knee.
We will send reinforcements to help you reclaim the Eastern Gate. From there, work your way to the main plaza.
Understood.
May all the gods of Eora and the Living Lands protect you.
Let's take back the city together. Show the Steel Garrote how the Living Lands takes care of its own.
Let's go free a city, shall we?
Maybe it's just because I'm used to reading books, but the amount of dialogue here doesn't really bother me. It's something I quite expected. But since you guys are so into the dialogue, let's have a little bit more before we go, okay?
You should get some sleep. Well, I'm just fine. I've been in a lot of dangerous situations, but it's always been a fight to survive. It's just a fight. Putting my life on the line for someone else's cause. It's the opposite of survival. It's foolishness.
Doesn't make sense, but sometimes it's necessary.
You know, I've never seen a bear go to war. They fight for survival, not for causes. We're about to go out there and risk our lives for what? A concept of how things ought to be? We might die, all to determine who sleeps in the nicest house in Paradis until the island decides it's time for a change. It's fine, really. But it's Bleste Saka when you think about it.
Get some rest. Sleep well.
I'll try. Maybe a little Nova Leaf under the nose will help.
Nova Leaf, huh? Alright, she said she has an idea to break faith in Woedica.
Can't wait. Can't sleep. Neither. We're going into battle for the soul of the living lands, rallying under the banners of the Paradise Militia. Your Emperor will not be pleased.
I have influence in court. My report on the living lands will change minds.
Political influence is dangerous. If you aren't careful, it can turn against you. When a godlike fights in battle, people take note of which side. The Adirans will doubt your loyalty. The locals will doubt your commitment. You may even doubt yourself. This is the first time you were told to pick a side. And I fear it won't be the last.
It's all just beginning. You're worried that I'll change my mind?
Only a little bit. Just enough to keep me up at night. From what I understand, your ambassador is very persuasive, very powerful, and very accustomed to getting his way. For a politician like him, losing a battle is not a defeat. It's an opportunity. When he promises you the world, don't listen. He'll fill your head with lies if you let him.
Noted. Thanks for the warning.
I'm glad we understand each other. It's good to see you fighting for the misfits and rabble-rousers. Time for you to get some rest. We have a big day ahead of us.
Didn't you have an idea about Lödwyn?
Need to talk?
We're gonna cross paths with Lödwyn again. Are you concerned?
In truth, I'm not as worried as I used to be. I've been thinking about the Inquisitor. Formulating a theory, you might say. A Death Guard clings to their existence by force of will. Stubbornness, unfinished business, that sort of thing. Lödwyn is held together by faith, and that may be her undoing.
Because Sapadal challenged her faith.
Precisely. Faith is the foundation of her reality. Faith in the righteousness.
Guys, give me a
of the
second.
gods.
There's a fire alarm going off.
According to
Hold
her
on.
faith, Sapadal should not exist. A new god independent of hers? Blasphemy. By that logic, you shouldn't exist either. And yet here you are.
Alright, everything's good. Smoky in the kitchen. So I can't just destroy her. I have to destroy her faith.
That's my point, exactly. I think you already have. You are the godlike of a heretical god. A contradiction to her reality. Can you imagine how much she needs you to die? Her entire worldview depends on it. Who knows? Maybe that uncertainty is enough to make her mortal again. Or maybe not. I'm just theorizing as I go. Whatever happens, I want to see it for myself. For the research.
Okay.
You too.
Sure, dude. Let's get out there. I'm ready to fight. Because me trying to burn down the door to the mod basement? Alright, well. Looks like you're getting some extra lashings then. Look, there's a dead man, and therefore loot. Ow.
Glad that's over.
That's right. The envoy's here. Everyone run. Oh shit, the guy that we cured of that lung disease. He's here helping. What a guy. Get him, Billy! Billy the Bear, back at it again. Hold on, hold on. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Slam. Oh, yeah. Oh, my damages. What? That was insane. Holy shit, brother. Who do you think you are? Didn't realize that guy was still alive. My bad. You guys see how much damage that slam did? Picked up a whole bunch of targets and did over 3,000 to each of them. That shit was sick, man. Alright, let's eat one of them. One of them, one of them, one of them. One of those ones, one of these ones, one of them ones, one of those ones. Why not just a little bit of everything, guys? Let's just get all the buffs. You right? Let's just get all the buffs. Thoughts? We're just buffed out of our minds here. Look at all these buffs on the bottom left of the screen. Look at my buff bar. This is why you spec into the food in this game. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to character. I'm sorry, go to abilities, ranger, and then survivalist. Put 3 ranks into it. And as you can see down there, it says unlock recipes for foods with powerful effects. That's how I'm getting all of these massive buffs. This is stuff that gets overlooked in so many games. But I'm telling you, man, it is worth it's worth specking into. Do I need to break this with ice? No. Oh, right. There's a winch right here. Yes, chef. I've made up my mind. I'm pegging my husband today. Hey, good for you, dude. Good for you. Ow.
Don't worry about the eastern gate. I'll protect your back.
Foolishness.
Foolishness. Hey, man. You good, dog?
The envoy.
You got a tummy ache?
Of course you'd be the last face I see. I guess I shouldn't be surprised to see you here.
Is he taking a leave from the mines in Shatterscarp?
I have. As an endearing soldier, it's only fitting I die here at the dawn of our war against the living lands. But never mind that. That isn't what's important right now. You've declared yourself for the enemy. You've turned your back on Adir, on the Emperor. Again. I don't understand. Why, envoy?
Why not?
Why not? Because the Emperor placed his trust in you, envoy. You won't stop us. Even if I'm food for worms. One way or another, these lands belong to Adir.
Can I just... No, the game won't let me be that cruel, I guess. Oh boy, would I like to be. Oh, I was too far away, I guess. It didn't actually grab on anyone. Okay, man.
Is someone down here? Done it better.
It's so good. I feel like I'm playing Mass Effect 2 with that ability. Who was it that got slammed? Was it Miranda? Miranda's loyalty power. Too bad it wasn't good on higher difficulties. I only use it on higher difficulties to get the crossover effects. I can't remember what they were called. But Slam actually had a rather large AoE when it came to combining effects. What's up, Tony? That's really the only way it's good. Or if you want to use it standalone just to get some crowd control on some enemies while you focus on others, it's good for that too. Bringing them up out of cover with Slam. But for the damage itself, yeah, it was not good.
Woedica demands your submission.
Woedica had these nuts.
And fall.
It's Lödwyn.
Pay Lödwyn one.
Okay, let's buff up out of our minds again. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Yummy, 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 yummy. Yummy, 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 yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I'm ready. Hello, Lödwyn. Time to die.
Make sure she stays
There you
dead
are.
this time.
So, you survived the garden.
She's a Death Knight of Woedica, Elganon, so Woedica just brings her back.
To kill me more efficiently than last time?
Yellow hue over the world is really uglifying what should be a beautiful area. And I think that's the point, right? When you first come here at the beginning of the game, the yellow hue isn't here. The yellow hue signifies that right now the city is on fire because of what the Steel Garrote is doing. And war is ugly, right? I'll fight you 1,000 times if I must. Hunt you to the end of Eora.
Good. The battle over the Living Lands is nothing compared to the war we share. Look around, Envoy. Heelguard should have listened. He tried to bring order through compromise. He failed. Order is meant to be.
Why don't you use your
imposed by
rifle
the
for
stern,
stun hit? You have
guiding
fast swap?
hand.
I'll be honest, I'm just kind of lazy. I'd rather just keep what's in my hand.
Set down her blade.
The Living Lands will unite and remain free. There's nothing you can do about it.
Don't insult my intelligence or my commitment to the cause. Treaties can be burned. The hands which shook over whatever deal you struck can be lopped off at the wrist. As for you, Sapadal's chains are broken, which means your soul is in their grasp. I don't know how deeply you've been compromised, Envoy. And if I don't know, then I cannot suffer you to live.
Says the one that literally gave up their body for another god. It's so hypocritical. Oh, it hurts. It's so hypocritical. As usual, you're leaping to conclusions about something you barely understand.
Do not patronize me.
I have every right to put down a threat to the Empire.
The Empire
Steel
or
yourself,
Woedica?
Envoy. Make this a fight to remember, even in death.
We would not welcome her death. There is still ample shade for her beneath our tree.
That's quite big of you, Sapadal. If you attack, I won't hesitate to defend myself.
All this time, I knew you'd be worthy prey. Don't let me down. Farewell, Envoy.
There's
All
no
right.
coming back this time. Prepare yourself for the next world.
You won't be missed, Lödwyn.
Once I'm done killing you, you'll die of plague.
Whoops, wrong thing.
We are every seed in the soil. We will always grow.
Whoa! Queen among queens!
She's immune to damage right now.
Send me your aid!
Oh god. She just got healed by Woedica. She has a personal god cleric. That's messed up. She seems to have vanished. There she is. Slam. You're really struggling right now, aren't you? You're really struggling, Lödwyn. Ow. I'm okay. I inhaled saliva just before I'm about to kill Lödwyn. Inhaling saliva. Very, very good. One minute I'm just chilling, the next I'm dying. Bear, get him! Another heal? You're insane. You're insane, man. For the win!
Woedica! Where are you? No! Don't abandon me now!
Oh my shit. Again? How many times do I have to kill you? Yeah, I'm good, guys. I'm good. I am all sorts of colorful, just dancing around, blasting Lödwyn in and around the mouth with tons of bullets. My god.
Wherever Lödwyn is now, she must be seething.
Of course, we'd be happy to kill her again, if needed.
She's done.
I don't think I took a single hit there.
Whatever's
aside
next,
from the fireballs.
We'll face it.
Together. Gods, you're all gonna make me sick. But carry on.
Unraveled at last. We no longer feel her wire against our flesh. We are free always. We are free forever.
Silence falls over Paradise.
Complete Avowed on any
as though the
difficulty.
city
Complete
is
Avowed on the
holding its
difficulty.
breath.
Path of the Damned.
Then you hear it.
Hell
The ringing of a
yeah!
distant bell, the waving of banners, and cheers of victory. After a short and bloody conflict, the dust has finally begun to settle. You feel Sapadal close to your thoughts, stirring with interest. The god of the living lands is observing this moment, unfettered by confusion or fear. For the first time in centuries, they understand. The Paradise militia rallies to you, the outsider who defended them in their hour of need. Whatever happens next, you have won their confidence.
The last boss, a tad
You take a
anticlimactic.
moment
I just think
reflect
my
on the
build
calm.
was so strong
Not
that
so
she
long
couldn't really
ago,
do anything.
You arrived at these shores on a simple errand, which turned out
If
to
they
be
weren't
anything
rooted, they were
but
stunned.
simple.
If they weren't stunned, they
The
were
dream
rooted.
scourge is over, and the island has been cleansed of plague. A time of healing and mourning follows. People look to you for answers about the source of the affliction. You tell them the truth, how the plague came from a power beyond mortal understanding, and how it is finally at peace. Thanks to you, the living lands has escaped Adiran oppression. The free settlements unite under a common banner and begin the fraught process of negotiating new traditions and values. The Empire withdraws. The
I had three
frontier
faces when I fought her.
remains wild,
I mean, so did I.
but
She
not
just
for
didn't get to
long.
do anything.
Fugitives no more. The rebels of Paradise return to their home and to other free settlements, bringing their skills and secrets wherever needed. For once, they have a future. The refugees of Emerald Stair resettle in Thirdborn, bringing their skills and research to aid the local community. What starts as an uneasy partnership blossoms into a bond of trust. Through shared adversity, they find common ground. In time, the people of Emerald Stair return to their city of Fior Messiverno. Research yields new developments in the struggle against nature. Technology is shared among the united settlements. The Empire cannot get in the way of progress. For the people of Shatterscarp, independence is bittersweet. Those who cannot withstand the grief inflicted by Ringgrim's spell leave the settlements, vanishing into the wilderness. Those who remain find themselves forced to cooperate with others, often begrudgingly. With so many dead, the need to stave off hunger outweighs any distaste for certain trading partners. Solace Keep clings to its long-held isolation at first. But after mourning her friend Kostya, Mihala reluctantly deigns to open the doors of the fortress. Some dwarves greet newcomers with glee. Others still mutter darkly about outsiders. Mihala flounders in her earliest negotiations with the rest of the living lands, but slowly learns compromise. She develops a taste for Valian sweets. When Kai leaves the living lands, he is no longer running. For the first time in many years, he can face the future. He returns to Rawatai, committed to peace for his people, those he left in Rawatai, as well as those he found in the living lands. He joins the Ronganui's council, counterbalancing powerful voices of isolationism and hawkishness. It is a long and difficult battle, and he is happy to fight it. With many of his anxieties and lifelong fears addressed, Marius now feels very differently than he did when he first met the envoy.
I like this art a lot.
Still far more comfortable in the wilds than among people, he nonetheless finds that his worries about the unknown were merely self-protection against the traumas of his childhood. Armed with this knowledge, he finds himself more capable of living in civilization, and far less fearful of his home in Galawain's tusks. while he never regains his former place as a Warden of Solace, he spends his time traveling between Solace and Thirdborn, acting as a stubborn ambassador between the two. Giatta continues to improve as an animancer. She dedicates her work to the spiritual health of the living lands, nurturing instead of exploiting. Others follow her example, seeking her tutelage from lands far and wide. In the years to come, rumors spread of a secret society gathering in the wilderness, where animancers work in harmony
so
with
they're
nature.
going into druidism.
The dream of Fior Mes Iverno lives on in her.
Animancers become
In a past
druids.
life, Yatzli was given a task: protect the history and knowledge of the godless. Now, many lifetimes later, she continues upholding that oath. She moves into the library in the garden, spending her days poring over the clay tablets there. But not even the letters from, and rare visit to, her lover help ease the loneliness that fills her days. Freed from torment for the first time in centuries, Sapadal turns their prodigious curiosity to the people that shaped them. They observe the ways their people live, and they think deeply about what they see. Though they flinch away from moments of violence, and they grieve souls returned to them too soon, the rage that once shook cities to rubble no longer rules them. Instead, they come to you with questions. They want to understand. After a time, they begin, tentatively, to garden. Where they can, they improve the lives of Kith, and the suffering that troubled them is reduced, if never fully eradicated.
So Sapadal
Their
did
grief
become better.
compels them to love, and they love unreservedly, with the power of a god. Sapadal has questions about what happens tomorrow, and the day after. You do your best to keep them calm, until the voice in your head is little more than a polite whisper. After everything you've been through, you don't mind the company. The sounds of celebration pull you out of reverie. Many are waiting to greet you with open arms. You take a moment to catch your breath and savor it, because everything is about to change.
Ugh, that was so jarring. Everything's about to change. Credits. I was really into this. Like, okay, we're really wrapping things up here. Cool, cool. And then stop. Actual jump scare. Okay, overall, guys, let me give you my thoughts. Let me give you my thoughts while these scroll. I had a great time playing this game. Whatever happened to Woedica, or however you spell it? Woedica is still the main god of the Adiran Empire. It's just that the Steel Garrote was more of a weaponized faction of religious zealots that worked with the Empire, but they were a separate force from the Empire, so they don't speak for the Empire. They were just used as inquisitors, as an inquisitorial force to, you know, try to weaken the living lands, and then so that way would make way for an invasion from the actual Empire eventually. But overall, I still give this game a rock solid 8 out of 10. Now keep in mind that my 8 out of 10 is not like IGN or Kotaku or what have you. 8 out of 10 would be a pretty good game. It's far above average for me. This game was excellent. It has its misgivings, sure. But overall, with my experience, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I love the art, the graphics, the gameplay, everything from using melee to magic to the guns. All of it felt rock solid. It was all very satisfying to use. I just really leaned into the guns because I was able to figure out a way to make a powerful build, and I just love that. A lot of playing RPGs and ARPGs for me is figuring out a way to make a build that's just wicked powerful. And this game allowed me to do that, to theory craft and to put it all together. And I enjoyed that a lot.
Far above average was your nickname in high school? Oh, yeah? Nice, dude. Also, sorry for nearly dying in the middle of the boss fights. Not in game, but like in real life. I just randomly breathed in and all of a sudden saliva was in my lungs. Not sure why that happened, but here we are. But I'm good now. The game does have some misgivings, like I talked about earlier today. The equipment, some of the equipment not having very clear context as to how it would trigger certain effects. That bothers me because it basically made those something that I didn't have the time to experiment with these things when I had so much other stuff that I had that actually worked well for my build. So that kind of bothered me a little bit, but hopefully I feel like a simple patch would kind of wrap that type of loose context up. It was much longer than I was expecting, but again, I did do most of the side stuff. I'm sure I missed a few things here and there, but overall, I think what I did play and the time I spent was very well worth it. It was very well worth the price for me. I enjoyed how different every region was. I feel like the enemy variety was pretty solid. I didn't get bored of fighting any one enemy type. The overall ability spread, I mean, I had so much going on that I forgot to use a lot of my abilities, straight up. So I think the ability spread is fantastic. I love the idea of getting big buffs through food. Yeah. I don't have any other thoughts coming to my brain. Strimmer is not a fish. Yep, that's true. I'm not a fish. I did play this game over the course of 8 days. I put, well, this says almost 62 hours in. I think it's closer to 63 based on stream time. Yeah, it's closer to 63. This hasn't updated yet. But, yeah. What achievements did how many achievements did I get? Let's see. It says 31 out of 50. Look at that. Part of the 0.1% of players that have completed it on Path of the Damned. Considering, you know, it's only 8 days in. I'm sure more people will get that real soon. But yeah, I had a great time with this. I'm glad that I played this. It's actually a lot better than what I was expecting, especially considering all the chatter around the game going in. I gotta tell you, this is a side note, and this is not to be something that I'm not downing on any one type of person or anything like that. But I am so sick of every game being viewed negatively over such trivial things that I am so excited that I just ignored all of that and jumped in on this game. So happy that I just said, screw everyone else's thoughts. It looks good to me. I'm playing it. Feels good, man. Feels good. As far as replayability goes, I do agree with Zog. I think that maybe more skill trees that could differentiate everything would be of value. However, the game also has a free-flowing system where you can spec into pretty much anything the way you want to, which is something that I do appreciate as well. Because a lot of games are very restricting as to what you can actually build by choosing a specific class at the beginning. This system felt much more like something like a Souls-like would have, where your spread of stats and how you want to make your character is all you, and you get to make those choices and therefore have your own experience. I do appreciate it for that in a big way. So while I do think that it would add more replayability if it were more restricted in the class system, I'm okay and I'm actually pleased with this system because it allowed me to forge my own path, which is awesome. I love that. Additional classes over Fighter, Ranger, and Magic would be nice. Yeah. Maybe if they had a larger spread on magic. Specifically, there was only like, what, one poison ability that I remember, and that was just like the life siphon one. They could have added more stuff like, you know, like necromancy, especially because there was revenants in the game, revenants and skeletons. They could have easily added necromancy in the game. They even had an armor called necropants and the revenant collar. They could have easily added necromancy in this game. And they could have actually maybe even considered animancy something that the player could choose, because animancy is such a big part of this game. Why not allow us to spec into animancy, especially after we speak to some people in Fior, right? Maybe allow us to maybe forge that path into druidism, right? Just something to consider. I do feel like there was more options there, for sure. They could have expanded upon that. But again, I do like the free-flowing system of being able to build and use whatever I want, when I want. There was basically no restrictions. If I wanted to build as a knight, but still use magic, could have easily done that. Which is cool. I do like that. So it's one of those things where I think the game could have worked either way, and this is just what they chose to go with, which is cool with me. That's cool with me. But yeah. Before we go, you want to drop any political statements or mock any given religion, or shut up, man. Looking forward to getting to this game more myself, but glad you had a good time. Yeah. Again, I know it's only February, but right now, as it stands, this is the best game I've played this year. Again, I know we're not even 2 full months in, but you know, that's just where it stands right now, based on limited choices. Gotta save something for the SQL. For the most part, we didn't have many douche nozzles popping into chat. Yeah, there was a few. I had to ban specifically a couple people yesterday. What really sucks, though, is when I have to ban people that have been here for a long time, all because they can't let go of some mindset. That sucks. That really sucks. It's like people just can't control themselves. What's up, Gastric? What game will I be playing next? We do have a little over a week before Monster Hunter comes out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few days off from streaming, because I have streamed 63 hours in 8 days, and I am feeling it, man. I am quite mentally tired. So maybe after a few days off, I can come back and finish up BioShock. I would like to finish up BioShock. We are in limbo on a playthrough there. I'm also debating putting a bunch of time into V Rising so I can make that video still, but only a week left before I really try to make a video on Monster Hunter. That's going to be a tight fit. I don't know. I'll take the next couple days to really decide what I want to do. I don't know. You calling it a stream? I'm gonna chat for a little while before I go. No interest in KCD2? As I've said a dozen times plus, no. Nope. After my experience of the first game, knowing that the second one is more of the same, it's just not for me. Just not a game I would enjoy. I find the combat to be so repetitive and tedious. Yeah, just play Bloodborne for a few days. KCD2, what's that? Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Like to see the rest of BioShock, to be honest. Yeah, maybe we'll pick that back up when I come back in a few days. I would like to do that. But also, guys, let's have a real talk for a little while, okay? I have a lot of thoughts, especially now that this playthrough is done, and I have that kind of freeing up my mental space. This is a bit of a bonus stream that, you know, I don't really talk about, like, what's really going on in my brain a whole lot when it comes to what I do and everything. I've been kicking myself in the ass because I make some I make decisions very slowly sometimes because I overthink them. And I also have an affinity for doing this a little too often. I know I've not uploaded to Skullyton in about a month now, but I do have plans on getting that going more real soon. Like, obviously I've worked on things here and there, but I have loved my return to streaming very much. It's been a good time. Obviously, I've streamed, like I said, 63 hours in 8 days. Over that time, after stream, I'm just like, I'm very tired after stream, but it boils down to it feels good to be doing it again. Yeah, I gave it an 8 out of 10. An 8 out of 10. In fact, let me pull up the old game list here. Hold on a second. The old game list here. Let's see. This playthrough, Avowed, we are done. We've completed it. It's good to go. Beautiful. The score, 8. Beautiful. And then when we click this, we should see everything in order here. I do need to reorder these. Let me do that real quick so that way they're in order for you guys. But yeah, I know that I've been a little slow on the delivery of videos for Scullyton, the other channel, but I promise once Monster Hunter comes out and I make the video for that, the pace will pick up again. It's just been a little bit of a weird, like, a weird status, kind of getting back into the flow of, you know, streaming and trying to get the video stuff going at the same time. Now, that said, there's going to be times, and the reason why I'm saying this is because it just depends on my mental exhaustion over it all the time. RDR2, 4. Oh, yeah. I really did give it a 4. Shit, dude. Let me close that before people get mad. I lost my train of thought. Shit, man. What was I saying? All right, getting back into the flow of uploading videos on Scullyton. Obviously, that'll help once I'm kind of getting a flow on things. And no, I know I've said that I'm going to be doing more night streams. I know that's a thing that I obviously have planned. That is still a thing. But something I want to be clear about when it comes to the night streams is that, like, when I do stream at night, it is specifically, the focus is going to be on recording, right? So I want everyone to remember that when it comes to the late night streams, it's not that I won't talk to chat. It's more like I'm going to be very much so into what I'm doing, and I hope you understand, and I will catch up on chat whenever possible, right? But the reason why, and I want to show you guys this, I actually have some videos that have done quite well on the other channel. Quite well. This is my other channel right here, Scullyton, right there. Boom. But if I go to videos, look, the last one I put out, 19,000 views. That's, as far as videos go, that is much better than what I usually do. And then this one, this is the very first video I made coming back to content. It's now at 122,000 views. I've had videos like this before, but never the type of video that I truly love making. This is the first video in my style of telling a story about a playthrough of a game that has broken that many views before. So I'm very happy about that. I'm very proud of that. Very proud of that. I like it. And so obviously I'm going to keep this going, right? I'm going to keep that going. Like that's my big plan. I like the political talk around games. I like controversy though. I feel like I got a little close to getting timed out or banned. I didn't see the woke like so many claimed in this game though. The thing about it, Zog, and I don't want to get into like a chat about the idea of woke. The thing that I don't like about it is that people use it as a generalization rather than actually talking about the specific topics around something that they don't truly like. Instead, they throw a 4-letter word at it and say that game bad, instead of actually being honest with themselves and talking about the actual issues that they don't like. That's my problem with it. Yo, Anthony, thank you for the 2, dude. Keep the great content, man. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I want to understand clearly, are you leaving streaming for infinity? Yep, you're never going to see me stream again. It's over. It's all over! No, I'll be back in a few days. What's the goal for Scully merch? I will start making merch for the other channel. I will start making merch on the other channel if I release 2 videos back to back that get over 6-digit views, because that will tell me that that channel is going to be going somewhere. That's when I'll do that. That'll be the plan there. So 2 videos released back to back that break 6-digit views. 100K plus. That is a point too. It does trigger other people as well, and it kind of brings down the chat a little bit. And that's just like, I just don't like talking about it. I know that I was a smartass earlier, and the way I said it probably upset some people, but it's just me kind of just, it was me making other people that say that stuff a lot feel a little bit of their own medicine. That's all. And I didn't think before I spoke on that comment. So it just kind of got people a little bit riled up. And that's not my goal. I'm here to have fun and play video games. It was just, I lost control for a minute, What is the next game? The next major game to come out is the 28th, Monster Hunter Wilds. Monster Hunter Wilds. But I'll probably come back and finish up BioShock, our BioShock 1 playthrough before that happens. And if we have more time in between, after BioShock and then before Monster Hunter Wilds, then I'll just find some ridiculous game to play. We'll just find something small just to pop on stream for a while and just chill and play games, Thanks again, Anthony, for the 2. I appreciate it, dude. I'll find something that's very lighthearted, considering, this game was pretty heavy. It had a lot going on. 63 hours of gameplay. Off to dinner, great work, sir. Thanks, Chad. Thanks for being here for it, dude. Take it easy. What's up, Messer? Boing, boing, boing. What does continue look like now? What do you mean continue? As in continue BioShock? We did leave off just after our character killed Andrew Ryan. And just after we found out that Atlas is Fontaine. La Fontaine. So I feel like there's not much left in that game for us, but we'll go back and finish it up. 60 plus hours you didn't waste? Oh yeah, I loved playing this game. I thought it was good. What does continue look like now? Oh, as in this. I mean, we can look. I imagine it just picks up just before the final boss fights. So proud of you, actually proud of you. Thanks, B-Dog. Thanks, dude. Oh shit, what? I didn't realize they were that big. Was that there before and I just never noticed? What? Okay, yeah, it is just before the boss fight. I never noticed that thing previously. I never noticed the thing. I walked right by without realizing it. Holy shit.
Sure she stays dead this time.
See, now I want to go fight that, but it just makes me fight Lödwyn instead. Anyway, yeah, that's what continue looks like. It just leaves us off at the last save just before fighting Lödwyn. I wouldn't mind speaking on politics more often if people were able to be level-headed about it, but that's the thing. People are not level-headed about it, and so that's why it's usually off limits for most channels, including mine. Most people, it's like, oh, well, I disagree with that completely, so now I don't like you. Like that it's just, it's shitty. And politics is way too divisive. Let's talk about religion instead. For sure. What did I miss? I finished up the game. We completed it. It is done. It is over. We did it, man. Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's the operating words there are good faith. Most people just can't do that. Especially on the internet. Ugh. But yeah. Yeah. I think I'm out of here, folks. I think it's it. I think it's over. It's done. And I can present my research in Germany this coming June. Nice, dude. Nice, man. What's your favorite game of all time? Something you can go back to whenever? I have a few games like that, Papa Bear. It's just a matter of, like, what kind of mood I'm in. I'm a very mood-based gamer. And I will say that I was very much so in the mood for something like Avowed, so that might actually sway my opinion as to why I like it so much right now. But, I mean, just some examples are like, I'm a big fan of Armored Core. I enjoy most From Software stuff outside of like Kingsfield and Sekiro. Just not a big fan of Sekiro overall. I could say the same about like Mass Effect and Dragon Age, specifically Dragon Age Origins. Amazing game. I would actually put Baldur's Gate 3 up there. I definitely need to go back and finish up that game too. If I go back and finish that up, I mean start a new playthrough and hopefully stick with it the whole way through and hope that nothing in the real world like weighs me down, kind of like the curse of Ghost of Tsushima that I had for a while. So that's a plan that I gotta go through and do sometime. Why are you hating Kingsfield? Because it's not good. But it's okay, I forgive them because they've made up for it and then some with their other games. Anyways, make sure you guys join up on Discord. !Discord. That's basically the only social media outside of Twitch and YouTube that I use. So join up on there. Also, Reddit is another thing that I use, but I know a lot of people don't go on Reddit from our channel here. But if you want to find me on Reddit, you can type !subreddit in chat. It is r/Scullyton. Be great to have you guys there, and you know, everyone's free to post on there and drum up conversation around gaming and gaming related things. It'd be good to have you guys there as well. And yeah, thank you guys for being here for my playthrough of this game. I know there's a lot of other channels out there, much larger, much more popular than my own, and you guys chose to be here, and that means a hell of a lot. I appreciate you guys so much for giving my channel the light of day. It means a hell of a lot to me, and I hope you know that. But alright, I'm out of here, guys. Thanks again for being here. I will see you in a few days. Until then, be excellent to each other. Later, folks.